Let's take it slow. Who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me. Let's take it. Ask me how we got here, 'cause you don't know how. You say we're taking on water, yeah, we're sinking now. You're looking all concerned, like we're gonna drown. But we both know how to swim, no worries, let's flow for now. Let's take it slow. Where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me. Let's take it. I drag you out your mind, and there are days I hate you, but baby, you're still mine. And then we have the best times, no matter what we do. And even when we don't, there's nobody I'd rather choose. Let's take it slow. Where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it. Take it slow. Who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me.
What's going on, guys? JSGC here, and we are here for another Manchester City live watch-along. Today we're going to be doing the live watch-along of the game in North London between Tottenham Hotspur and Manchester City in the Premier League. We've had a favour from Everton yesterday. They beat Arsenal by 1-0 at Goodison Park, being led by new manager Sean Dyche, as Frank Lampard's been binned off, and it's worked to treat. It means if Man City win here, we're just 2 points behind Arsenal, and in a couple of Premier League games' time, we play Arsenal for the first time in the Premier League, taking confidence from last week's FA Cup 4th round victory over Arsenal. We know what it takes to win that game. But first, the pressure needs to be firmly applied to Arsenal, and the only way we can do that is doing something we've never done before. Tottenham Hotspur's new stadium, we've never won there before. We've never taken a point away from this ground. We've only ever lost. We've never actually scored at this ground either. We need to change that today, and we need a strong, attacking, no-fear performance from Manchester City. No slow starts, right on it from the off, take the game to Spurs, see where we end up. Now, Cristian Stellini, the assistant manager at Tottenham Hotspur, he's taking charge of today's game, as expected, with Antonio Conte. I think he's still in Italy, recovering from an operation on his gallbladder. So firstly, wishing him a speedy recovery and hoping he'll get back into the dugout sooner rather than later. What impact's that going to have on this game? We'll wait and see. This is a free hit, so to speak, for Tottenham Hotspur. They played Manchester City just a couple of weeks ago. They were 2-0 up at half-time. They blew it. City came back with 4 second-half goals to win that game by 4-2. And I presume City, going off the starting 11 that we've gone with today, including playing in a front two of Haaland and Alvarez, we'll speak more about the teams in just one moment, I presume Man City going with a similar stance for this game as well. So it should be a really good game. Should be, I'm hoping, end-to-end attacking. Hopefully a really good high-scoring game. And hopefully, in the end, Manchester City coming out on top with the 3 points. That's what's needed to get that pressure applied firmly to Arsenal at the top of the Premier League and make it very much game on. Arsenal hoping for a favour from their North London rivals in Spurs. Spurs needing points and needing wins to get that pressure back onto the likes of United. That's both Man United and Newcastle United, currently occupying 3rd and 4th place in the Premier League. And if Tottenham want Champions League football, then that's what they need to do if they want to do it through Premier League qualification. That is for sure. So, that's pretty much a nice little summary, a nice little preview of this game. So, before we do crack on with going through the lineups and everything that there is to talk about on this game, make sure, like always, if you are enjoying the content, then please do subscribe to my channel. As you can see, we're now less than 1,800 subscribers away from my aim of 30,000 subscribers. My aim is to hit 30,000 by the end of the year. That's the end of the season. So the end of the football season's when it comes to the end. So that's what we're looking for. That's the aim. 30,000 by, it depends when our season ends, if it's going to be in May or June. That remains to be seen. But yeah, looking for 30,000 by the end of the season. So any help towards that would be much appreciated. Social media links there in the description below and also on the yellow banner too. If you want to go and follow me on my Twitter and Instagram, TikTok link also in the description if you want to go and follow me on there. Also, don't forget as well to let me know your thoughts in the live chat. I'll go through the live chat in just one moment, but do let me know where you're tuning in from around the world and your score predictions as well. I can see a couple of score predictions in there, so we'll go through that in just one moment. And also, don't forget to leave a thumbs up. 100 likes is the aim. We're already a fifth of the way there. 20 likes. Sensational start to the live stream. Just 80 likes to go. Let's get to 100 likes. That would be much appreciated. Also, don't forget as well to go and check out today's video sponsor, who have been sponsoring all my previews for the season. So if you watch my previews, then you'll be fully aware of who today's video sponsor is, where this video is brought to you by BetMate. Now, BetMate is only available to those in the UK who are 18 or over. It's much like fantasy football. It's an app that you can go and check out. The links and details are in the description and also in the live chat. But if you use that link, that should take you to the download page, and when you go to download the BetMate app, it should automatically fill in code JSGC10, and that'll give you £10 in free bets, and you can go and join today's pot. Now, we have already in our pots, with BetMate are running Freebie February, so they're running free pots for every single pot throughout February. I've been making use of that. Not had any winners, unfortunately, but it's free to enter, so you can go and check that out. I'm in the free pot for today's game. I've got it locked and loaded just on here. £50 free pot is the one that I'm in. That's paying up to 5 places. I'm also in the £5 pot as well, which you can go and join. If you use code JSGC10 on sign up, then you'll get £10 in free bets, so you can go and join that pot for free using your free bets. That is a pot worth £750, paying up to the top 30 places, and first place getting £225. I'm hoping today it's going to be the first time this season that JSGC finishes top of the pot. I've been placed a few times but not won a pot yet. I'm hoping today is going to be that day. So yeah, go and check that out. Links and details there in the description. Currently got 108 participants in that. So yeah, the more the merrier. Come and join me and challenge me on there. That would be much appreciated. You've got until 5 minutes before kickoff to join the pots and edit the pots. So I think you've got just under 13 minutes. So please do go and check that out. Links and details, they are in the description. I've got my BetMate team locked and loaded here. I've already done my alterations based on rotation in the team, always my top tip. And I've still gone with Hugo Lloris in goal. I've got Ederson on the bench. I've got Nathan Ake and Manuel Akanji as my 2 defenders today, and Eric Dyer on the bench. I've got Kulusevski and Rodri as my 2 midfielders, with Hojbjerg on the bench, and up top I've got Erling Haaland and Harry Kane. Harry Kane, of course, if he scores today, we're off again, baked instead of breaked Jimmy Greaves' record of becoming Tottenham Hotspur's all-time top goal scorer. So that's what's at stake for him. I think he might grab that goal today as well. And the man that just loves scoring past Manchester City, Heung-Min Son, I've got him on my bench as well. So there we go. There is my BetMate. You can go and check that out. Links, details, they're all in the description. And thank you very much to BetMate for sponsoring this live watch-along. They're sponsoring all my previews for the season, and they're going to be sponsoring all my watch-alongs as well throughout the month of February. So big shout out to the legends at BetMate. Go and check them out. That would be much appreciated. So let's go and have a look at the teams for today's game. So we'll just get that up, locked and loaded in. So whilst I just get that sorted, we can go to the chat. We've got John in on the chat. Much appreciated. Good afternoon, John. Do hope you are well. Julia as well. Thank you very much for tuning in. Much appreciated. Julia saying Sean Dyche couldn't have got off to a better start in his new position at Everton. Completely agree. It's always so difficult when a manager comes in and first game, the players are wanting to impress. They're wanting to impose a different style, and there's just that little bit of extra motivation with some fresh new management in the team. It can wear off after 3 or 4 games. Remy Gard's a perfect example of this. That happened at Aston Villa. We faced Aston Villa in his first game in charge. I can't remember if they drew, or they might even have beat us actually at Villa Park that day. Give it 3 or 4 games. They get settled in, the players go back to being terrible, and all of a sudden, I think they end up going down, actually. So with Everton, got new blood in Sean Dyche. He's going to have them working hard, and that could be the pivotal turning point in Everton's season to potentially stay in the Premier League. And considering they've got that fancy new ground coming in, they really need to stay in the Premier League as well. But a fantastic favour from Everton yesterday to beat Arsenal. Means Manchester City win today, can go 2 points behind Arsenal. Now we've got 2 games coming up against Arsenal, one in a couple of weeks at the Emirates, and another match at the end of April at the Etihad against them. So all to play for, but we need to capitalise. Something we've not done so far this season is, when the opportunity's been there, is City capitalising, and that's what Manchester City needs to do today. If we can do that, then Manchester City firmly in a competitive title race, in my opinion. Mike, thanks very much for tuning in as well. Much appreciated. John, I like that. Jurgen Klopp struggling ever so slightly at Liverpool, looking very mediocre. And I put it all down to Sadio Mane. Shows his quality, just how good he was, that he made this lacklustre Liverpool team into an excellent team who could compete at the top end of the Premier League and for Champions League, because right now they look so far off the pace. It's unreal, and there's not that much that's changed at Liverpool. They're lacking a bit of energy in the middle. Players have got older. The motivation's not quite there. But the big difference is there's no Sadio Mane pulling Liverpool out single-handedly. He, in my opinion, last season was their best player, and they let him go. They didn't fight hard enough to keep him, and then replaced him with Darwin Núñez, who's really struggled in the Premier League. I was going to call him a donkey, but I'm not going to go that far. Not yet. I always say give players when they're new to the league 2 seasons. So another season and a half, and I'll call him a donkey if he's not making it work from there. As Mike says, forget Klopp, he's done. Arteta, Pep, Erik ten Hag, they're the geniuses left in the league, as Mike emphasises just how important this game is and how important it is that Manchester City win this game as well. LR10, thanks very much for tuning in as well, much appreciated. Shout out to you. FIFA, thanks very much for tuning in, much appreciated. Going for a Mahrez hat-trick today, that's interesting. So yeah, do let me know your score predictions in the live chat. I'm going to read through them right now. So LR going for 2-0 Manchester City, with Haaland grabbing a goal and Mahrez grabbing a goal. Big Morgan going for 2-0 Manchester City, and Alvarez to star. So I presume having Alvarez to score there as well. LR to nice top, nice and comfortable. I've got JSGC17 on the back of mine as well. Mike, we'll speak more about the team in just one moment once I start working through that. Mutondu, thanks very much for tuning in again. I'll speak about the team and benching Diaz and Laporte and that. I'll speak about that in just a moment. Dudley, hello, thanks very much for tuning in. Much appreciated as well. Mick Sid, got me on the big screen on the TV. Much appreciated. Thanks very much for tuning in as well. I'm just hoping I've not missed anybody. Nicholas, thanks very much for tuning in as well, much appreciated. Yeah, I don't think I've missed. Oh, Zaraki, thanks very much for tuning in as well, much appreciated too. If I have missed anybody, just shout up and I'll say hello. So yeah, do let me know your score predictions in the live chat. Do let me know where you are tuning in from. So I'm going to get the teams up now. Just noticed in the Premier League, I was watching the end of the game. Nottingham Forest keeping a clean sheet under new goalkeeper Keylor Navas. Nottingham Forest have beaten Leeds United. Leeds United struggling, really, sitting in 17th place. Everton picked up that win yesterday, now level on points with Leeds. Leeds have got a better goal difference, is the only thing keeping them out the relegation zone right now. And that was a big relegation 6-pointer, Nottingham Forest and Leeds. And Nottingham Forest coming out on top with a 1-0 win thanks to a 14th minute Brennan Johnson strike. As Nottingham Forest now 6 points clear of the drop zone, looking like they may well end up staying in the league. So yeah, there we go. Right, E and O then. Starting lineups for today's big game in North London. As John, I'm going to try and cut out the mistakes. I've got away with one already today, but it's nothing major. No one seems to have noticed it, so got away with that. So yeah, hoping not to have a repeat of some verbal errors that we made last time as we're on the rum and coke, and I'm not mixed in. I've put too much rum in it, so it's slightly strong, but never mind. Keep myself hydrated going through the teams. So we'll start with our opponents, the home team for today. Lining up with a 3-4-2-1. Which is Hugo Lloris starting in goal. They're going with a back three, which is Cristian Romero as their right-sided centre-back, Ben Davies as their left-sided centre-back, and Eric Dyer going through the middle as their central centre-back. Right wing-back today is Emerson Royal. Left wing-back is Ivan Perisic. In midfield for Tottenham today is Pierre-Emile-Hojbjerg and Rodrigo Bentancur. On right wing is Dejan Kulusevski, scored past Manchester City last time out. Danger man needs to be dealt with. Son Heung-Min on the left-hand side scored a brace in Tottenham's last game in the FA Cup against Preston North End at Deepdale in that 3-0 victory last weekend. He needs stopping. He loves scoring past Manchester City. Kept him pretty quiet at the Etihad. Hopefully we can do the same today at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. And finally today is number 10, Harry Kane, starting up top, who, as I said, if he scores today, will become Tottenham Hotspur's all-time leading top goal scorer, currently joint with Jimmy Greaves. On the bench for Spurs today is Fraser Forster, the goalkeeper. They've also got Clement Lenglet, Pedro Porro, former Manchester City man, doesn't get given the nod. I thought he might have. It's Emerson Royal that's given the nod. Davinson Sanchez, Yves Bissouma, Ryan Sessegnon, Oliver Skip, Arnaud Danjuma, and also Richarlison. Now, your Manchester City starting 11 for today. We're starting today in goal, number 31, Ederson. Starting with 3 at the back. On the right side of centre-back is number 2, Kyle Walker. Left-hand side of centre-back is Nathan Ake, number 6. And going through the middle, our central centre-back for today is number 25, Manuel Akanji, the man who doesn't seem to be getting dropped for any games, for any minutes right now, ever. There we go. Manchester City midfield today. I presume it's going to be number 82, Rico Lewis, sitting alongside number 16, Rodri. Bernardo Silva is going to be dropping deep. He's now number 20 today. He's going to be sitting in the gap as well. So I presume it might give a little bit more freedom there to Rico Lewis or Kyle Walker if Walker wants to go on the right-hand side and push further forward. I presume he's going to be playing centre-back. Not been too impressed with Kyle Walker playing centre-back, but City giving it another go. His job might be here to man-mark Son Heung-Min out of this game and try and keep him quiet in the hope that Nathan Ake and Akanji continue their good form and can attempt to try and keep Kulusevski and Kane quiet. But that front three for Tottenham is very, very good. I've said it plenty of times. You take away that front three for Spurs, you look deeper down into their squad, and I'm not that impressed by what I see. And there's space, there's gaps here that City can exploit if they are on it. Our front three today, though, on the right wing, number 26, Riyad Mahrez. Left wing, number 10, Jack Grealish. And starting up top is our number 9 and Premier League top goal scorer so far, is Erling Haaland. Captain City today is Kyle Walker. On the bench for Manchester City today is number 18 and our goalkeeper, Stefan Ortega-Moreno. Also on the bench is Ruben Dias, Aymeric Laporte, Sergio Gomez, Kalvin Phillips, Cole Palmer, Ilkay Gundogan, Kevin De Bruyne, and big shout out to Manchester City's potential debutant, Maximo Perrone, our new signing, £8.2 million from Vélez Sarsfields last month. He's joined up with the City squad. He joined up, I think, on Friday, and by Sunday, he's in the squad. He must be doing something right in training. He's impressed Pep Guardiola. He's in the squad and could potentially come off the bench to make his debut for Manchester City today as well. So that is fantastic. So well done to Maximo, making potentially his debut today and certainly the first time in the Manchester City squad. Now, Pep Guardiola's made a couple of interesting comments. Firstly, he said there's a midfielder that can play at left back to help cover João Cancelo's absence as he's been loaned out to Bayern Munich. If you didn't know and you've been living under a rock and you've not been paying attention, João Cancelo is a Bayern Munich player now on loan until the end of the season, and they have an option to buy for 70 million euros, which Bayern Munich, quite frankly, already know they haven't got the money. They're not going to be able to afford that. And because of that, means that they're either going to have to negotiate the price or Cancelo gets sold to somebody else or he returns back to Manchester City. So in the meantime, City chosen not to bring anybody in and instead they're going to need to be able to make with what they've got with the squad and find some cover. Apparently there's a midfielder that can help cover there. I'm wondering if it's going to be Bernardo Silva. You'd think would be the natural option at left wing back, who would drop deep. He's brilliant with the ball, left-footed, knows when to attack, knows when to defend, knows how to defend, and knows how to attack. I have a feeling it's Bernardo Silva, but I wouldn't rule out potentially Kalvin Phillips going in there. I think he's played left-back and covered left-back for Leeds before in a previous season. So Kalvin Phillips could be the other option as well. Pep Guardiola has also been speaking about some other interesting topics of conversation, including Manchester City's squad. He's made some big calls. Phil Foden not in the squad. I don't know if that's down to injury or not, but he's not in the squad, which has left the gap there for one of Maximo Perrone or Cole Palmer to come into the squad instead. So they're into the team, so no Phil Foden for Manchester City today. But once again, reiterating here, the big calls. Laporte misses out. Diaz misses out. These are big calls. De Bruyne on the bench as well. There's lots of quality for City to go at, but Pep's insistent on players that work hard, that play well, deserve to keep their spot in the squad, and that is what's happening. The likes of Diaz, Laporte, De Bruyne, when they're given their chance, they're going to have to take it with both hands, because if they don't, They could end up like Cancelo, struggling for game time, becoming unhappy because they know the quality, they know that they are at the top end of where they want to be. But Man City's squad is so competitive, our manager's so good, he knows how to get the best out of lots of high quality good players. And if you are good enough to be in Pep Guardiola's squad at Manchester City, then you're good enough to be starting any game that he sees fit. And if these players like Akanji, who he's meant to be fifth choice, but he's training well, he's working hard, and he's not doing anything wrong, which means when the players are wanting their positions from him, when they do play and eventually get given them opportunities, they need to take it with both hands. And quite frankly, when they've been given the opportunity, some of these players haven't turned up. I can't remember the last time João Cancelo put in consistent quality performances for Manchester City. Kevin De Bruyne, at times, looks incredibly tired. Laporte and Diaz has been injured, so I can't judge on that. I'm hoping we'll see him soon. But Aymeric Laporte always looks high quality for Manchester City, yet doesn't get given a look in. And the only reason he doesn't get given a look in is he'd slot really well to cover for Nathan Ake. But Nathan Ake isn't getting dropped because he's just been sensational. And that, at the end of the day, is that. And that's how Man City's squad works. Naturally, when we're playing every 3 to 4 days, we can rotate. But right now, we're not. We're playing every 7 days. So you pick the best 11. The players that have trained the best. The players that are playing the best. They get into City's starting 11. And yeah, some people are disagreeing with the starting 11. But that starting 11 that City have gone with is an attacking starting 11. And in my opinion, it isn't far off Man City's strongest starting 11. Foden, I presume, injured. Stones, injured. So where else? De Bruyne, potentially. As I said, he looks knackered. He looks tired. So, yeah, there we go. Right, so do let me know where you're tuning in from around the world. Score predictions. John going for 2-1 to Manchester City. My score prediction today, I'm going for Manchester City to win this game by 2-1 as well. Matching you there, John. I'm going with a 2-1 Manchester City victory today. What's your score prediction? Let me know in the live chat. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up. We're now 67 likes away from 100 likes. So any help towards that would be much appreciated. Don't forget as well to subscribe if you're new around here. Press that red button, press the bell, and put your push notifications on. Also, don't forget as well to go and check out my social media links. They're in the description below and also on the yellow banner too if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter and Instagram. Email also in the description below and on the yellow banner too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. Also, don't forget TikTok link, that's in the description if you want to go and follow me on there. And finally, I want to say a big thank you to Betmate for sponsoring today's live watch-along for you guys. Go and check them out. They're running a campaign at the moment called Freebie February. Every single pot throughout February is going to have a free pot, so you can go and check that out. Remember, use my link in the description or in the live chat to download the free Betmate app. Also, don't forget as well, you can use code JSGC10 on sign up and you'll get £10 in free bets. What's not to like? Don't forget, it is available to those only in the UK. It is only available to those who are 18 years old or over. Don't forget, if you are going to gamble, do gamble responsibly. And when the fun stops, stop. We are ready to go then. We're less than a minute away from kickoff here. We've had a week off. It's nice for Manchester City to be returning back to Premier League action. We've not played in over a week. We've not played in 9 days, I think it is, since Arsenal in the FA Cup last Friday night. And so 9 days later, we're back in competitive Premier League action. And it's City away from home in London, taking on Tottenham Hotspur at a ground we've never won at, a ground we've never drawn at, a ground we've never even scored a goal at. But Everton's done us a huge favour in beating Arsenal yesterday. We have a chance to move that gap from 5 points to 2 points. Must-win game, huge game. Cannot wait for that. Thank you very much, Niall, for tuning in. Much appreciated. United, they're having a very strong season. I'm not too sure if the title contenders, there's still a long way to go in the season. You put a run of 5 or 10 games together in a row of winning games and you'll be right up where you'd want them to be. But yeah, Erik ten Hag's doing a brilliant job at Manchester United. And definitely something that Manchester City in the future need to be wary of. It'd be interesting to see what players Ten Hag addresses in the summer to bring in. He's a quality manager. It reminds me a lot of Pep Guardiola during his first season. There's a lot of experimentation there. There's lots of games where you look high quality. There's certain games that doesn't work. Once you bring players in that are used to your way of style of play and how you play, you can march on, because the season after, City went on to win the Premier League. I think it was the season we hit 100 points as well. Definitely a team to watch out for next season, Manchester United. They've got a high-quality manager, but that's for next season. We're worried about this season, and we're worried about Arsenal right now, who is the team we're playing catch-up to. Now, just changed my layout ever so slightly for my live watch-along today, experimenting to see how it works. We have had kick-off here, Manchester City, the away team playing in the strip that I'm wearing here. It's the stripes of red and black with black shorts and black socks, attacking from left to right. Tottenham Hotspur playing in their home shirts of white shirts, navy blue shorts and white socks, attacking from right to left. It's City that got us underway through Erling Haaland. Here is Bernardo Silva working the ball to the right-hand side, inside the Tottenham Hotspur half. Finds Mahrez, he gives the ball away, and Spurs break through on the counter. Heung-Min Son cuts right through Manchester City's defence, and eventually Jack Grealish is there, closing down the space, tackles Heung-Min Son and finds the ball back to Ederson, who just launches the ball long. He was slipping, he was off balance, but got the ball out nonetheless, as Rico Lewis is playing left-back right now. Sky Sports on the think had Man City as a flat back four. The players went back into the tunnel. Manchester City kept their defenders out. They've been working on a flat back four. Walker right back, Rico Lewis left back. Cancelo out, Rico Lewis in at left back. This is a flat back four. Akanji right centre back, Nathan Ake left side of centre back, as Ake now centralises himself next to Rodri. So instead of going on the right hand side for Rico Lewis, he's going on the left hand side, sitting next to Rodri. City going with a back two. That's really interesting. Seamus, thanks very much for tuning in. As we're now on to 37 likes, which is brilliant. 63 likes to go. Any help towards that would be much appreciated. Here's Akanji then to Rodri. Gives it to Kyle Walker. Alvarez wanted the ball playing early. Walker's going to spread the play. Trying to get it from right to left. Couldn't find Grealish. Emerson Royale's in the right place, and Royale now breaks away past Rico Lewis. Royale's got him for pace here. Lewis does well to slow him down, but Royale's too strong, and that should have been stopped by Rico Lewis much earlier, but he does well to get hold of the ball. Going to be a big learning curve this for Rico Lewis. Pep Guardiola showing a massive amount of respect to keep Lewis in the squad. Wouldn't even have got a look in if it wasn't for the World Cup, I don't think. But with Walker and Cancelo at the World Cup having a rest, and the games between when we came back from the World Cup and the New Year, Rico Lewis started every single one. Looked impressive, he looked good. So much so, Cancelo is out. Here's Bernardo. He wanted to thread Haaland in, but he's chopped down by Pierre-Emile-Hojbjerg. Manchester City have themselves a free kick. It's a bit too far out for a shot, but this might be worthwhile. City just clipping something towards the back post, I reckon. Mixed going for 2-1 Manchester City. Julia reckons 2-1 or 3-1 to Manchester City. I went 2-1 Manchester City is my score prediction for today. We're now just 60 likes away from 100 likes. We've got Bobby Madley's brother, Andy Madley, in charge of today's game, the referee. So Riyad Mahrez has been in good form since the new year. He stood over the ball, and it looks like he's going to clip a ball in. Ake's at the near post. Back post is Rodri and Akanji. He goes for the centre. It's not a good ball in that from Riyad Mahrez. But that's a cracking tackle from Bernardo. Rodri then, back to Bernardo. He squares it past. It hits the backside of one of the Spurs players. Tries to block. Mahrez has a bit of space. Have a shot. He does, and it's headed clear. And that'll be Manchester City's first corner of the game. This is a good, bright start to the game from Manchester City here. 4 minutes in North London. Spurs 0, Manchester City 0. And that shot might just have been on target there from Riyad Mahrez. So a corner here for Manchester City. On the City attacking left-hand side, Jack Grealish puts the ball in, back post, free header for Ake, heads it back across, and it's pinging around, and it loops up, and I tell you what, Spurs can't be allowing Nathan Ake at the back post to have a free header. He just strung away. I'm amazed Nathan Ake's not looked to generate a little bit more power. He's let the ball hit his head rather than his head meeting the ball there. Under pressure here, Spurs. Here's Erling Haaland. Presses into the penalty area. Spurs do well. They're panicking a little bit. City putting the pressure on, and Bernardo Silva leading the press. Makes a good tackle, and it's out. City want a corner. Corner given. Emerson Royal, furious. Can't believe it. Great work that from Bernardo Silva. He's one of the players who's been having his future cast into doubt. Him and Gundogan. Bernardo will be a massive loss to Manchester City. And it's not a fact that Bernardo wants to leave Manchester City because he's frustrated or he's unhappy with game time or he's unhappy at City. It's just more unsettled climate, etc. Shot comes in, Alvarez. It's blocked well by Spurs. Here's Heung-Min's son trying to get a counter-attack. Julian Alvarez knows what he's doing there. Tactical fouling from Julian Alvarez. He's learning. He is learning, ladies and gentlemen. Pulls Heung-Min's son's shirt. You're not going anywhere, sunshine. Hey, it's a good pun from you there, sunshine. Top quality content, subscribe. Oh, man. Right, this is good from Manchester City. A good, bright start. The pressing and forcing the issue here with Spurs. I wasn't all that impressed at the Etihad with Spurs. It's just City made silly, silly mistakes at the back. They were clinical in front of goal to sort Manchester City out in that aspect. Other than that, didn't really force the issue. They didn't create. They didn't make things happen against City. It was just more City were a victim of their own downfall in that game. And thankfully, we were able to come back and pick up the 3 points and pick up, in the end, a fantastic comeback win by 4-2 at the Etihad just over 2 weeks ago. Here we are, playing Spurs once more. City, we're attacking the away fans in the second half. Fans in full voice, packed out away end. Things you love to see. City have got 6 of the next 7 6 of the next 7 games in all comps away from home. Including including Bristol City away from home. We've got Leipzig in the Champions League away from home. Bristol City in the FA Cup, of course. A couple of massive Premier League games. Got Spurs here. We've got Nottingham Forest coming up. Bournemouth coming up as well. Some massive, massive games. Arsenal too. Kane straight offside, and the offside flag is up. Good defensive work, that from Manchester City. 7.5 minutes in. Spurs 0, Manchester City 0 here. They weren't impressive at Deepdale, Mixed. You're spot on. They were just clinical in front of goal. It's just the only difference between Preston and Tottenham that day, even though they have all the quality, was just Heung-Min's son. They don't have him. That guy could well finish 0-0. Them Sun goals create that space for that third goal. That third goal, if it's at 0-0, doesn't happen. Here is Nathan Ake then for Man City. City camped out in the Tottenham Hotspur half. Tottenham just looking for the counter-attack. Here's Rodri dropping into space. There's a lot of space for City's attackers, but not really found a way of getting Jack Grealish involved in the first 8 minutes. Attacks have run through Riyad Mahrez. He's just had a couple of miscontrols and a couple of leaving the balls behind, which is very un-Riyad Mahrez-like, because he's very good with his ball control. As Haaland's dropped deep a couple of times and received long balls from Ederson very well, and he's controlled them very well and found the pass. Here is Jack Grealish now, getting himself involved, centralising himself. Kyle Walker burst forward, got the support of Riyad Mahrez on the right-hand side. He uses that support. City on the outside of the Tottenham Hotspur penalty area. Gives it to Rodri, working it backwards. Here's Kyle Walker on the right-hand side. Back to Mahrez. Got 2 for company here. gives it to Rodri instead. And City are going to work this to the left-hand side. Nathan Ake eventually picks the ball up after the ball originally just squirted away from his foot. Jack Grealish receives the ball. Here is Bernardo Silva now giving it to Nathan Ake. City again just working the ball backwards. Happy to have a bit of the ball control and looking for the space as Akanji gives it to Walker. Here's Rodri now. Back to Kyle Walker. He's got a couple of options. Goes back to Ederson. Good work that from Tottenham, the edge of their own penalty area, forcing City all the way back to Ederson. Ederson, though, finds a pass and threads it forward to Erling Haaland. And Haaland under pressure there. Again, does well to keep hold of the ball. And Rico Lewis doesn't see Haaland making a direct run as Haaland felt like he was in behind. And Haaland, again, calling for it. Feels like there's space. He wants Bernardo Silva to play a ball in behind. Again, the ball doesn't come. City not being direct enough there. Here is Bernardo Silva now to Kyle Walker. 10 minutes in then. Spurs 0, City 0. Still awaiting the first shot. City have had a looping header caught by Hugo Lloris. Looked threatening, but not threatened the goal as of yet. Rodri then to Akanji. Once again, City just camped out inside the Spurs half. Kulusevski puts some pressure onto Ake. He finds the pass though to Grealish, who's under pressure there from Emerson Royal on Manchester City's left-hand side and Spurs' right-hand side. Here is Kyle Walker. Gives it to Bernardo. He drops deep. Alvarez makes a direct run into the middle. Not used by City. Walker gives it to Mahrez. Bernardo lingers down the right-hand side trying to receive the ball. City again just patient in the build-up and happy to keep hold of possession. City have had 84% of the ball so far in this first half before a direct ball forward comes in. Eric Dyer gets a header. Comes off the head of Julian Alvarez and out for a Tottenham Hotspur throw-in just to try and ease some pressure on their own goal. Of course, Spurs without Antonio Conte today, recovering from a gallbladder operation in Italy. So Cristian Stellini is in charge of Tottenham Hotspur today. He's the assistant manager under Antonio Conte. I imagine Conte will be giving instructions to the Spurs team via television from wherever he's tuning in from, whether he's back in London at his home or he's in Italy or wherever. I imagine he will be giving instructions to the Spurs technical area. City's formation at the moment is very much looking like a 3. Walker's getting given a little bit more freedom, so if Lewis decides to sit back and he's playing on the left-hand side, Walker will go forward. But it's 2 different formations being used when City are on the ball and when City are off the ball, because when we're on the ball, it can sometimes revert into a back 2 of just Ake and Akanji, and both Rico Lewis will go and support in midfield and Kyle Walker will burst down the right-hand side. That requires Rodri to sit a little bit deeper so he can't go forward, so it can go to a back 3 if they look for the counter-attack or the ball gets given away. And that's poor from Spurs. Could have won the ball back. It's pinging around. Here's Rodri. It's just going to slow this one down. Jack Grealish is in space on the left-hand side. Here is Jack Grealish now. Looks like he's not wearing any socks. They're that low. Gives it to Rico Lewis. He might fancy a shot here. He goes cross-field, though, and finds Riyad Mahrez. Walker goes deep. And brilliant defending from Tottenham Hotspur, and free kick given against Jack Grealish there on Emerson Royal. It's a cracking ball in that from Kyle Walker. And Rodri is starting, letting himself be known. Good performances from City so far, just waiting for them shots to come in. Cracking ball in. Jack Grealish doesn't really do much wrong there. It's a cracking bit of defending. More than anything else, rather than a foul being committed, it's a brilliant bit of defending. He doesn't nudge Royal in the back. Royal's going down to win that header. Royal made his presence known there that Jack Grealish wasn't winning that wicked ball in from Walker. It was a good bit of defending. Spurs in a distribution again, given away, and City get themselves a cheap throw-in near the Spurs penalty area. Spurs not on it. City need to capitalise. Rightio then, guys. We're 58 likes away from 100 likes. Let's see if we can get 8 more likes and get halfway there before half-time. Doing well with likes, so any help towards that would be much appreciated. Subscribe as well if you're new around here. Press that red button, press the bell, and put your push notifications on. And do go and check out today's video sponsor, BetMate. Links and details there in the description. Free app to download. And yeah, cracking apps. They're running Freebie February, which you can go and check out as well. Running free pots all throughout February. I'm in the free pot for today. I'm in the paid pot for today. You can use code JSGC10 on sign up. You get £10 in free bets. Lots of fun. It's a lot like City giving the ball away here in a dangerous area. Kane, 1-0. City again, just faffing around. Punished again like they were at the Etihad. Tottenham have done nothing all game and give the ball away. And you can't do that with Harry Kane, who now becomes Tottenham Hotspur's all-time leading top goal scorer. Just chucks it beyond Ederson. It's poor from Manchester City in what's been a good 15 minutes. Oh. Talking about making life hard for yourselves. Spurs have done bugger all. It's just a poor giveaway. Spurs have given the ball away 2 or 3 times. Not been punished, and I spoke about that. It's Rodri this time giving the ball away. Can't find the pass to Rico Lewis. It's picked off by Spurs. They're under pressure. Rico Lewis is a bit slow to react, but the pass was never there. It's not in the corner from Kane either. It's not the cleanest of hits from Kane. Ederson gets a hand onto it. Does Stefan Ortega-Moreno save that? It's just carbon copy of the Etihad. Craig spot on. Oh my God. Really poor from Manchester City. And the one thing that City just could not afford to do on today of all the days was give away a cheap early goal. It's fine. Well, it's not fine, but it's better when it's at the Etihad. You've got 50,000 City fans getting on the back of the opponents, getting on the back of the players to encourage, to burst them forward, to make that comeback happen. This is away from home. This is a different ball game. This is a ground we've never scored at. And it's just... We've conceded 3 goals to Spurs so far this season, and all 3 of the goals have been the exact same. Giving the ball away. Cheap. Sometimes you just need to be visually aware. Sometimes you've got to recognise the pass isn't there. Sometimes you have to recognise, actually, we're in a bit of bother here. I might end up giving the ball away. And in such a situation as 0-0, you put your foot through it. Clear the ball. Get rid of it. Worst case. Tottenham pick the ball back up, but they're 70 yards away from goal. Not 20. And Spurs now motivated. The fans are motivated. City need a quick response. Here's Lewis. And as I said, it was a good first 15 minutes. City have done nothing wrong. First thing that's been done wrong has been punished. Because of where the ball gets given away. And City just been a bit too patient. Spurs come with a game plan. The same as what it was at the Etihad. I'm sure the game plan will be capitalise on Man City's mistakes, because they will come. You might only get 2 or 3, but if you put them away, you're probably going to come away with points. You can't keep conceding 2 or 3 against the same team and expect to come back and pick up points. At the Etihad, we got away with it. I'll tell you right now, if they do it today, they will not. Lightning just doesn't strike twice. That's not how it works. Dale, we spoke about it when we went to the City game. Hey, you just got to be visually aware of when to do it and when not to do it, and what's around you. Decision making. Here's Bernardo. Nice direct run. He has a shot himself. He wants a shot, and it's a shot on target. And some will criticise Bernardo, but I'm not going to. The one thing City have been a bit lacklustre in is shots. If there's space and the ball's there to be hit the ball. Yeah, he could have played a pass into Jack Grealish. Make the keeper work. Great getting in positions and doing nothing with it. You need to have shots to score. So I don't blame Bernardo for having a pop there. Here's Walker then. And City just need to regroup. They've dominated the first 15 minutes. Spurs don't look like they're having another pop at City. They're just going to be patient and wait for another mistake. That's a great ball from Ederson, and City get themselves a throw-in inside the Spurs half. Now, I'm not often that critical of Rodri because 99 times out of 100, his passing and ball playing is second to none. It's exceptional. I just think Rodri's got to be smarter there. For someone as good as what Rodri is, he must be aware that any press on Rico Lewis and the ball gets given away. Yes, Rico Lewis could read the situation better, but even if he does, he could easily get pressed, tackled, and the ball gets dispossessed that way. It's a situation that just simply could have been avoided. It might just be one of them situations through style of play. You live by it and you die by it. It has its strengths, it has its weaknesses, and the weaknesses of the ball playing possession-based football is if a team's aggressive enough and presses you enough, they will find the mistake. You've got to be spot on. It's fine having 90% pass completion rate. Realistically, though, it's got to be even higher. And certainly in your final third, it's got to be 100 really, or very close to it. No margin for error, not against a team that sits fifth in the Premier League. Peter says, well, frankly, Man City just aren't that good. They've let players go. And Nathan Ake there, cracking bit of defending. Spurs want handball. Referee says play on. Eventually Jack Grealish is surrounded out and City can't find the space. And here comes the threat of the counter-attack again. And Jack Grealish tugs through Harry Kane. He wants to go quick here. He does go quick. I think the referee's going to bring the play back. Why has he not allowed them to go quick then? Don't really understand. Definitely something for City to ponder about. Right, we're 5 likes away from 50 likes to get halfway to our goal of 100 likes. So any help towards that would be much appreciated. Subscribe as well if you're new around here. Press that red button, press the bell and put your push notifications on. And don't forget to go and check out today's video sponsor, BetMate. Links and details in the description, also in the live chat. City needed a response. They could really do with something before half-time. That's good work from Alvarez and Bernardo combined. It's good defending from Spurs. It's good work from Emerson Royale. And the loose ball's picked up and City are pressing. And Lewis needs to be on that, and he is. And City have got the ball now. Here's Rico Lewis. Good work from Lewis. And the space. And the referee's pulled it back. He's pulled it back for a yellow card. City are in a good position there. Spurs fans are booing. I don't know if it's the Spurs or the City fans, but why you play on? Bentancur's done a cynical foul. It's a yellow card challenge on Rico Lewis. It's a nasty looking challenge. Goes through the back. But Man City are through and in space there. What? Referee should be allowing play on. You can come back to the yellow card later on. A good referee, a competent referee there, sees the situation, allows play on, keeps his yellow card in his pocket until the game comes to its next stop. Then go back to it and give him his yellow card. But City don't get their free kick, but they get the advantage of continuing their attack. Of course, I was saying the referee's right if City end up scoring off this, but in terms of the position of this free kick, I think I'd rather, and it's just, headed clear. I think I'd just rather City had been given the advantage. And Spurs are breaking forward from this free kick. It was poor from City. Needs dealing with. Jack Grealish gets back. Good work from Jack. Really good work from Jack Grealish. Stops that threat. City managed to get it clear and they get themselves a cheap free kick as well. Rodri's getting pressed into a mistake, and should have been a free kick for Spurs. Really should have been a free kick for Spurs. Again, I'm going to go back to the incompetence of the referee there. Doesn't allow the play on for City before when he should have. That should have been a free kick for Spurs. The common occurrence here is the refereeing consistency is there because they're all just poor, just as bad as each other. And the standard in the Premier League's at, and the so-called best league in the world, just seems to have some of the worst officials. Here's Lewis for City. Not really done anything since Bernardo shot straight at Lloris. That was over 5 minutes ago. Game's just going a bit scrappy, to be honest. And City struggling with the press. They look comfortable at 0-0. They were happy to deal with the press. They were doing a good job, but considering the goal just seems to have taken the confidence away, and Ederson's now 25 yards out, and Haaland's just taken out. It's a free kick, and it's another yellow card. Now, this time there isn't an advantage to be played, so the referee makes the correct call. It's Cristian Romero just steps forward and takes out Erling Haaland in a very cheap tackle on Erling Haaland. It's a nasty one. It's late. Legs Erling Haaland up. The problem Spurs have here is 2 cheap, quick yellow cards. If they continue at that rate, 3 or 4 of their players, they're on thin ice. Spurs are 1-0 up. They don't need a red card at this point in the game. And City being pressed should be a free kick for City. And eventually, what's given? What's the referee doing here? What is the referee? He's doing a drop ball. And City are giving the ball on a drop ball. Here's Bernardo, the space. That's not the greatest ball in, and it's going to be dealt with at the back by Spurs. And they've not found a way, like they did in that first half against Spurs, of getting Alvarez involved, and Spurs just breaking away into the penalty area, and Son gets a push. He's getting surrounded out, and Kane leaves it. Jack Grealish is back. Can't allow this cross to come in. He doesn't. Good work from Grealish. And it speaks volume that City's best defender, arguably, has been Jack Grealish so far. Pep looks frustrated. So some defending here for City to do. Tottenham leading the way with the most goals from corners. Perhaps because they practice them. The amount of how attacking City are and how many corners and set pieces they get. City should be right near the top, and they're not. So corner here, taken short. Go to him. They allow the cross to come in. It's deep. There's Jack Grealish, top defender. Gets it clear. Kyle Walker then levers this long. Clears the immediate danger. Mahrez leads the press. Eventually worked back to Hugo Lloris. Sent long by Lloris. Spurs have kept 4 forward. You're not beating Nathan Ake in the air then. Eric Dyer wins the initial header. Alvarez can't take the touch and he's surrounded out, and Tottenham can come away with the ball once more. I think Alvarez needed to be, again, visually more aware of what was around him there. And should have been looking for space immediately, because he just got surrounded out. And because of it, City now don't have possession. 28 minutes in at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Spurs lead by 1-0 thanks to Harry Kane's record-breaking goal. 268 goals is on for Spurs, which is the all-time leading top goal scorer at Tottenham Hotspur now. Here is Heung-Min's son. Breaks forward for Tottenham Hotspur. Worked to Kulusevski on the right. Played into space, and Nathan Ake more than up for that challenge. Defends well. and will get it clear for City as well. Not the greatest clearance from Ake though, and it's just going to come back in another wave at Manchester City. Bernardo Silva leading a press. Alvarez tries to put on a bit of a pressing too. He does and slips. And I mean, the referee's given a free kick. He slips. Pep's fuming about it. Oh, he pushes him. No, that was a free kick. I was wrong there. I was wrong. He pushes him. Looked like he'd lost his footing and slipped, but he was pushed. That was a free kick. Correct decision. Right, we're on 50 likes. That's fantastic. 50 to go to 100 likes. So any help towards that would be much appreciated. Subscribe as well if you're new around here. Press that red button, press the bell, and put your push notifications on. And don't forget to go and check out today's video sponsor, BetMate. Links and details there in the description and also in the live chat. Spurs growing in confidence then in the latter parts of this first half, and shot comes in, blocked well, and Kyle Walker gets an important interception for Manchester City as Kulusevski nearly away, and Rodri is giving the ball away again in a dangerous area. This time City don't allow space for Spurs, and they've got to work it backwards. And City under the cosh at the moment. Ivan Perisic, cross comes in. Not a good one. Loops up and Ederson will collect that. He'll roll it out quickly. He'll give it to Rodri, who'll slow the play down, and Rico Lewis will receive the ball, and City just happy to try and slow the pace of this game down to try and suit themselves here. Here's Rodri then to Julian Alvarez. Do you know, I'm impressed with Jack Grealish. I'm impressed with his defensive capabilities today. I'm impressed with Jack Grealish's willingness. You can accuse Jack Grealish of lots of things. One thing you won't be able to accuse Jack Grealish of is he works hard. Now, I tell you what, if we had 11 Jack Grealishes working as hard as what he does, we'd be a better team for it. He's passionate. He wants it. Dare I say, potential future captain material. He's got a good PR campaign out there. He just needs goals and assists. Tell you what, if he was pulling in assists and goals on a regular basis, there'd be no argument. Everyone would be talking about the quality Jack Grealish possesses. He just needs them numbers, really. Here, he's doing everything else right, in my opinion. Here is Ederson, then. That's a poor ball, and it's an equally as poor ball from Perisic that gives the ball away again, and Rodri does find the pass to Bernardo, and City need to be just a little bit quicker. Worked to Jack Grealish, then. There's a bit of space. Sends a ball in. Dealt with by Spurs, only as far as Mahrez, and Ivan Perisic is back to lever that one clear, and Akanji wins that in the air on Harry Kane. Not the greatest header, though, from Akanji. Now, we have 5 players back. The Spurs have got 3 attackers. I just can't help but feel that if City can just find the space, then there's success in this game. I mean, you can force the issue. Has someone gone down? Hojbjerg's gone down, holding his knee. So the ball's been put out. So I don't know if it's an injury. Jack Grealish has gone down as well, feeling some discomfort. So a drinks break for what's been a pretty rapid pace to this game. It's been hard work from Man City, but they've not possessed the finesse in attack so far. And City punished through giving the ball away in a dangerous area. Rodri not aware of what's around him. He puts his left foot through that. This game's still 0-0. Oh, yeah. Disappointing from Manchester City so far. Oh, City till I die, thank you very much for that. I'm just so used to Manchester City winning. There you go, changed it. Jack Grealish injury here would be a big blow. Hojbjerg's back up and on his feet and looks good to go, but the same can't be said for Jack Grealish. He's feeling some serious discomfort, and if he needs to come off, who's going to come on? Grealish walks very gingerly over to the touchline. Erling Haaland's receiving instructions from one of the City coaches. I'm wondering who's going to come on with no Foden on the bench. Might City look to change it up ever so slightly? And you got the potential of either Bernardo or De Bruyne that maybe could come on. Speaking about Erling Haaland, Erling Haaland's just one of them players who's in the right place at the right time. He scores goals. You've got to give him service. It's a poor clearance that from Hugo Lloris, and that's out for a throw into Manchester City. Here's Rodri. Receives the ball off the Kyle Walker throw. Walker works it back to Manuel Akanji. I think these are the areas at the back where City are looking up. Have got to be brave and just attempt some of these direct passes through the middle of Tottenham Hotspur to one of the attackers and see if they can hold it up, draw in a foul, find something. Because at the moment they're a bit too slow for me. They're patiently looking to work their way through Spurs, and as we saw at the Etihad, the best way is just to force your way. That's better from City. Julian Alvarez dropped deep and he received the ball, and Bernardo nearly found space, and they were panicking a little bit there, Spurs. They went in with an aggressive challenge. They won the ball. But these are how City were picking up the yellow cards before. And the ball gets threaded through. They're looking for Haaland this time. It doesn't happen. Son. Now, it's good work from City. Be more aggressive. It's better. It's much better from Manchester City. Be more aggressive. Tottenham don't like it. They might just force a mistake out of them. Force the issue. Rodri. Mahrez now. It's just inside the penalty area. Gives it to Rodri. There's nothing on for him. Walker might need to go first time here, and he doesn't. And one of the Spurs players is down, and I think the referee stopped the game. Oh, no, he's given a free kick. What's that? What happened there? Oh, Haaland and Romero. Haaland was pulling his shirt after Romero pushed Haaland. It's silly from Haaland. You don't need to have hold of his shirt. He's a defender he's 6'4". You're being man-marked by a player. You've just got to be physically up with it with them. Spurs, poor clearance, gives it to Rodri. So this is poorly given away. This is where City need to capitalise. Spurs punished us for it. Cross comes in. They work out wide and cross it. And the crosses are never that good. We all thought to ourselves, get somebody tall and physical who can get their head on the end of it, and these crosses would be great. It's not really worked like that, mainly because the crosses that they put in just aren't very good. Have City lost the art to cross? Is that why our set pieces aren't very good as well? They always keep saying bring a winger in, a direct winger, a quick winger. Rafael Leao's a direct quick winger. People want Leroy Sané back. He's a direct quick winger. Raheem Sterling was a direct quick winger. I'd like to see somebody who can cross the ball. Rico Lewis got the ball back for City and wanted a free kick and doesn't get one. And in the end, City can cut it off. And Jack Grealish having a go at the referee here. I think Spurs have been given a free kick. Hey? I think there's a bit of argy-bargy going on there for Tottenham Hotspur. So Rico Lewis felt hard done by. And you see, he's had a good season for City, Rico Lewis. He's looked very, very good. He's a top prospect. And we've experienced what he just did there behind out of his game. He was frustrated that he didn't get the decision, so he carried on having a little niggle at one of the Spurs players, spotted by the referee. And thankfully, Spurs haven't punished Manchester City for it or not created anything from it, but that was a needless free kick from City given away there. You don't get a free kick. You need to learn to just shrug it off. Yeah, I want to see a bit more aggression and passion from Manchester City, but time and place. That's a beautiful chip by Bernardo into Rodri. He's strong, and he's lost, just knocked it on too far. Rodri's outstanding. I love him to bits, but he's not had a good first half here. That was a free kick from Akanji on Kane, not given, and Mahrez tries to dribble through. There's nothing on here for City at the mo. What can Alvarez do? Give it to Rodri and he'll find a good shot, and it's possibly City's best opportunity of the game so far, but Rodri he's looking for accuracy. Again, it's like the Bernardo attempt before. He's just looking for something on target to ask the question. It'll take more than that to beat Hugo Lloris. He might not have had the best season, but shot-stopping ability, he's not a bad keeper, is he? Coessier agrees. City just need to be quicker. I didn't know the Merseyside derby was on a Monday night. Probably don't want the trouble, so put it on a Monday night. I know that it's a working day, but midweek derbies are terrible. They are terrible. Same old picture here for Manchester City. One shot on target for Spurs all game. Yeah, 1-0 lead. City have had 3 on target. Nothing to show for it. Good ball from Walker. Haaland, have a shot. Gives it to Grealish. Should have had a shot. Grealish does! And it's wide. Haaland should have put his foot through that. He's in a much better position on his stronger left foot there than Jack Grealish. Space opened up. Haaland should have just put his foot through that one. It's going to take a lot for Grealish to grab a goal from there. It's a hard-fought game, this, for City. Still City await their first ever goal at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. And if it doesn't come today, then it's just all advantage play back to Arsenal again. That's a good tackle from Akanji. He wants a goal kick and a corner given. He's furious. Manuel Akanji is absolutely furious. Let's have a look. It looked like a corner. Looked like a corner, that to me, in my opinion. So corner here for Spurs, and some more defending for Manchester City to do. And just a couple of minutes before half-time as well. It's important City don't concede here, really. There's a good ball in, and Ederson gets a fist onto it to get it clear, and Hojbjerg puts it back to Perisic to put in, and it's near post, and Kane takes a touch, and it falls to Dyer. He has a second bite at it, and Ake gets it clear, and City survive. Do you know what? Didn't fall nicely to Kane. I think Spurs would want somebody better than Eric Dyer in that position, to be honest. Beautiful work, Jack Grealish. There's been one big bonus here for Manchester City. Jack Grealish. I've been impressed with what I've seen first half. Mike, spot on. Lewis, Rodri have been the two that's looked potentially where things have been going wrong for City. Now, I've been very critical of Kalvin Phillips, and I'm still not sure he's the quality City are looking for, but the only way Kalvin Phillips gets better is with game time. And if he's good enough to be in the City squad and he's good enough to be on the bench, then he's good enough to be somewhere near the team, in my opinion. If Pep thinks that, then Pep, one of the best, you've got to put trust in that. Because Rodri's just giving the ball away again, and it's just not working for Lewis and Rodri first half here. I won't be scared to look towards Gundogan, De Bruyne and Phillips second half. I really wouldn't. Not been a good first half of football from Manchester City. Lloris sends it long, headed clear by Rodri. Haaland as well. Alvarez runs past it. Alvarez hasn't really been involved in this game either. Nathan Ake's in a foot race with Kulusevski. Wins the foot race. We're into the first of 2 minutes added on here. This is where Man City shot themselves in the foot at the Etihad and conceded in these couple of minutes added on. So just need to be careful about that. It'll be brilliant if they can muster up an opportunity and grab a goal right before half time. It'd be a really big bonus and make life much easier for City. But I think it's at this stage of the game, it's so important that this damage doesn't get any worse, and come back out, let the analysis look at it, see what they think, and have a look at the second half, because Alvarez not linking up well, but Rodri does really well there to win the ball back. Here's Alvarez. He thought about hitting it. He's still thinking about it. Gives it to Jack Grealish instead. He'll go with a cross, and it's headed clear. Mahrez, back post. Mahrez! Crossbar! Oh! The best yet for Manchester City. And Mahrez just gets a little bit too much onto it. And it's on the underneath of the crossbar, and it bounces clear. And it's a brilliant effort, because any lower, and I think Romero wins the header to clear it off the line. Desperately unlucky that from Riyad Mahrez. But City have got to be encouraged. It's better. Much better. Good work that from Rodri again to find the interception. Spurs continue with their counter-attack though. And a deep ball played into space has too much on it for Harry Kane. And he kicks the ball away. And Manchester City will survive. And they'll get in at least till half-time 1-0 behind. But it could have been better. Sat up so nicely for Mahrez, and Spurs survive. They'll breathe a sigh of relief, I think, there. Spurs, they got away with it. Better from City. Still a few seconds left here, though. Mahrez works a ball towards Alvarez. Spurs can get it clear. Referee checks his watch. Worthwhile here, Akanji just launching this, to be honest. The referee's going to blow the whistle instead for half-time. And there we go. Half-time here, then. It's 1-0. Tottenham Hotspur lead against Manchester City. Mahrez with the best opportunity for City right at the end of the half, hitting the crossbar. But once again, this Spurs curse at their stadium. City can't score. They can't get results here. And struggling again. Not really made a way to make it work. They've not got Haaland involved in the game. Alvarez has been ghost-like. Rodri and Lewis have looked really poor for Manchester City so far, first half. We'll let the analysis look at it. We'll see if any changes happen second half. Interested to see if Pep identifies any areas that City need to improve on, and see if City can come out all guns blazing. We've got a big first 10-15 minutes of the second half. I think if Manchester City want to win this game, I think they need to find a goal. Probably first 10-15 minutes in that second half if they wanted anything from this game. But City just... It looks like a mental block. It really looks like a mental block, and it's frustrating, really frustrating. I watched the North London derby at Spurs Stadium a few weeks ago, and Arsenal just made such light work, easy work of Tottenham Hotspur. And that's what I was looking for from Manchester City today, for City to replicate, because City have got the quality. Arsenal will obviously play a very similar style with Mikel Arteta in charge. Learned his trade off Pep Guardiola. That's the level that City were looking for today. And first 15 minutes, City were the better team. And just look a bit pedestrian, and it's not. I can't even refer back to the fact that City aren't scoring the first goal; they're just giving away a very sloppy goal, and they need to be better second half, quite frankly, because we've been given a massive favour from Everton, and it's just so Manchester City not to take that. And you can't just keep getting a chance to make gains on Arsenal and every time not taking them before a big gap will start to appear. Because at the moment, whilst it's all fine and well, we've got 2 games coming up against Arsenal, but City don't pick up the results they want from them games against Arsenal, and the Premier League title will be very difficult to win. I see the run of fixtures Arsenal have got. There's no such thing as an easy game in the Premier League, but they've got favourable games until the next international break. So City really need to match Arsenal pound for pound, and if Arsenal are dropping points in any of the weeks, then City need to be capitalising upon that, and they need to do that today. And if they don't make that in the second half, then it's just, yeah, there we go. So we'll go through the stats. We'll see what the stats are suggesting for this game so far. I imagine it's just going to show that Manchester City are dominating possession. They've had some shots. Tottenham haven't really made anything happen, but they've found that crucial, the fatal error from Manchester City and have punished City. So 67% possession for City, 33% for Tottenham. 6 shots from Spurs, just 1 on target, 1 goal. 7 shots from Manchester City, 3 on target, and not found that goal. Keep going, keep pushing. They need to get Haaland involved, really. You've got the Premier League top goal scorer. The fact that I don't think he's had a shot first half. That needs sorted out. Needs something, in my opinion. I wouldn't be surprised to see De Bruyne come on for Alvarez, really. It's not really worked, this 2 up top. I was hoping it would. But it might just be one of those impact things. It works for a second half when things aren't working in the first half, rather than going from the off with it, so to speak. City had 335 passes, Spurs with 159 passes. Clear-cut opportunities, City not created any, had a couple of corners. Spurs, though, have had a couple of corners and have also created a clear-cut opportunity and put that away, and could have found a second goal through Eric Dyer towards the end as well. So it's just been a much of a muchness, really, from Manchester City. Just a classic Man City performance against Tottenham Hotspur at their stadium, really. Hugo Lloris, 3 saves, nothing for Ederson. In terms of discipline, 7 fouls, 1 apiece from both teams, but a couple of yellow cards. And they're both fallen to Tottenham Hotspur. Cristian Romero with a tackle on Erling Haaland, seen him go in the book, and Rodrigo Bentancur also into the book for Tottenham Hotspur, as the referee didn't want to play advantage when City looked like they were in a good position. So yeah, it's been a very frustrating first half for Manchester City, and they need it to change in the second half. And as Koweski's pointed out there, Lewis and Rodri have been 2 of the players that second half, if they do make it out into the second half, really need to step it up, in my opinion. And I'm just wondering how long it is before we see the likes of Gundogan and Kevin De Bruyne really in this game, and I wouldn't rule out seeing Kalvin Phillips at some point either. So we're on to 56 likes here at half time. We're 44 likes away from 100 likes, so any help towards that would be much appreciated. Subscribe if you're new around here as well. Press that red button, press the bell, and put your push notifications on. Don't forget as well to go and check out today's video sponsor, BetMate. Links and details there in the description. Free app to download. Available to anybody in the UK who is 18 or over. Running lots of pots, running free pots throughout February that you can join. You got paid pots that you can join using free bets. If you sign up using my code JSGC10, you get £10 in free bets. Got the Tottenham Hotspur pot. I'll have a look how I'm performing in the free pot right now. See how I'm doing. I'm currently in 24th place. So that's not bad, not bad. In the overall £750 one, currently in 54th place. Vice captain Rodri's not working. Captain Erling Haaland's not working, and I've got Hojbjerg on the bench. Really, if I had vice captain Hojbjerg instead, could have been on an extra 9 points. That'd take me on to 28, and that'd take me into a placed position in 14th. But not working. But City can turn it around in the second half, then could be in quids in and onto the money. That would be fantastic. So we're now 42 likes away from 100 likes. So any help towards that would be great. Perone. Not sure we'll see Perone, but good for him in making it into the squad. To be honest, you can chuck him in. You can't do any worse. You know, we're losing. We've not scored a goal. We're not, you know, not on it as of right now. So, yeah, could do. Shove him on. See what he can do. We'll see. We'll see what the analysis say for City, and we'll see how they respond first 5 or 10 minutes. I think if City aren't getting a response in the first 5 or 10 minutes, then the bench, we've got 5 subs to use. They need utilising sooner rather than later. But at the moment, it's just spelling out bad news for Manchester City, and just a frustrating afternoon once more at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, which we've been there, done that, worn the t-shirt. So City with work to do in the second half. Harry Kane, he becomes Tottenham Hotspur's all-time leading top goal scorer. Pep Guardiola frustrated. Can City respond in the second half? We will see. We'll be back for the second half. But I've got some half-time entertainment for you guys to enjoy. My partner channel, Mixed. His links are in the description. If you want to go and follow him on there, that would be fantastic. Go and like and subscribe. That would be fantastic. This is him providing my half-time entertainment for today, which is the prime drink that's provided for by YouTubers KSI and Logan Paul. This is their prime, I was going to say energy drink. It's not actually an energy drink. It's a hydration drink combined with vodka. I think it's the XIX vodka, the Sidemen vodka that Mixage used here to combine them both to make a cocktail. So sit back, relax, grab yourself a drink, grab yourself some snacks, and hopefully we'll have a much more enjoyable second half.
I don't think the tropical punch is the right one to use with the vodka. I think it's the wrong flavor. I think it's a wrong flavoured prime to use for this. I'd give it a very average 5 out of 10. It's not something I highly recommend at all. This one, it's alright. It's drinkable, but it's nothing fantastic. Doesn't get the pulse racing this one. But as promised, that is the last of the prime cocktail videos now. So we've been trying a different one, see what works best, and I think my answer so far is a rum works best for the prime tropical punch, as that's the only one I'll be able to get my hand on. So as you can see guys, we're filming from a new location, because we're not our usual spot now, as it is a little bit bland at the minute, as we are just decorating the bar, getting it ready. As I will show you the Christmas lights, even though you can't see it right now, I'll show you now what it looks like from a distance.
So it's looking a little bit blurred, but there it is from a distance, as you can see, as we zoomed out now. There is the Christmas lights. Looks a lot more festive, as that brings towards now.
So that brings us now into the month of December, so that only means one thing, ladies and gentlemen. It is Christmas cocktail time. My favourite part of the year. I absolutely love December, just love Christmas time. Always have, always will. As to kick off the Christmas series guys, I will be doing the winter sour, as that will be my next as that will be my Christmas cocktail to kick off the series now. So, any recommendation, guys, for Christmas cocktails, do let me know in the comments below. So I want to hear from you guys. Any good recommendations, I'll be happy to make them. Just let me know. But that, guys, has been the Prime and Vodka. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Mix It for more cocktails like this, for more Christmas cocktails, as we're on the road to 2K before the year is out. I know that's a massive ask, but can we do it, as we are 280 subscribers short? Can we have the biggest month on this channel yet to date? Let's make that happen. Let's see how we get on before 2023. But I've been Mixed, and I will see you guys for the winter sour. Have a nice day. Cheers.
Thank you. I went way too early there. Thank you very much to Mixid for sponsoring. He's not sponsored it. For providing today's halftime entertainment. Much appreciated. Please do go and check him out. That would be much appreciated. Links and details. They are in the description. So we're just waiting for the second half to get underway here. I imagine the City dressing room will be a pretty frustrated one right now. Hoping that they're just going to want to rectify the wrongs, because really we've got to reflect on this for a week. We're not playing for 7 exact days, 4:30 p.m. GMT next Sunday against Aston Villa at home. Got to reflect on a missed opportunity for a week. So yeah, City could really do with a response and making something happen in the second half of this game. Would be really good. Mixed being asked to do Iron Brew and Guinness. I've not heard of Iron Brew and Guinness, but funny you should mention Iron Brew, because I'm on Iron Brew for the second half. Been recommended, Mixed, try the Blue Prime. You know, can't really be fussy when it comes to Prime in the UK. It's not exactly readily available for people to get. It's a very difficult drink to be able to get your hands on at this moment in time, unless you're willing to pay way over the odds. Mixed just currently messaging me about Hogwarts Legacy. So work here for City. Cole Palmer's definitely not coming on second half at the Mo. Stefan Ortega-Moreno goes back on the bench. Kalvin Phillips does as well. I don't think there's been any changes, to be honest. Looks like there's no changes. We're now 40 likes away from 100 likes, everybody, so any help towards that would be much appreciated. Rico Lewis back out for the second half. Bernardo's back out. I don't think there's any changes. City are going to be attacking from right to left. Spurs attacking from left to right, and Spurs are going to get us underway for the second half. Get us underway. So a big second half here for Manchester City. Spurs lump the ball forward. Kyle Walker hooks the ball clear. Rodri wins the header, and Riyad Mahrez does well just to get his foot onto that, and City can get it clear and can find Jack Grealish in a bit of space here. And not the greatest of passes from City. And City wanted a free kick, not given, and Son finds a bit of space and threaded in towards Harry Kane, and Kyle Walker does well, and Ederson will just get his foot through that and get it clear. Need to be learning the lessons. They're under pressure. Don't faff about with it. Rid of it. But delicate scoreline. We're 1-0 behind. Spurs will be pushing for that killer second goal, and you fancy if they grab that killer second goal. But could that be that for Manchester City? That's the question. So City in a spot of bother. Just need to have a perfect second half, really. Spurs threading the ball through nicely. Kulusevski's got Hojbjerg further ahead of him. He plays the pass in, and Akanji takes a touch and works it back into trouble, and he finds the tackle. He wants a throw-in for City. He doesn't get one. What's everybody's thoughts on this back three from Man City and experimenting at the back? And what is Rico Lewis doing there? Why is that ball not gone back to Ederson? Why is there no communication? Why is nobody shouting and speaking? Harry Kane should have been punishing City and get away with that, Manchester City. Why is nobody talking there? Oh, Rico Lewis is... He just flicks his head onto it and just gives the ball away to Emerson Royale, and Harry Kane misses his volley. It's a good ball in. I'm amazed Kane doesn't make any contact on the ball, to be honest. Why is Ederson not shouting at Lewis? And why is Lewis not aware of what's in front and what's behind him? We're not even 3 minutes here into the second half, and already I'm frustrated. Arms are folded. Ifeanyi wins the header. Mahrez barges through the back, and Spurs get themselves a free kick. City are just looking frustrated. Gundogan and De Bruyne are already up and doing the warm-ups. I said the analysis will look at it and they'll see how City respond first 5 to 10 minutes. You always want a burst of energy, a response in the first 5 to 10 minutes. And first 3.5 here, I've not seen anything from Manchester City, to be honest. If any team's scoring next right now, you'd think it's going to be Tottenham Hotspur. And that's where the concern is. I mean, you do end up leaning into trouble, but when you've only played this fixture a couple of weeks ago and you're a team that already beat the other team, because the other team comes into the game with extra motivation to right them wrongs, particularly when you're at a competitive stage like the Premier League. We're not talking about teams that are just going to turn up and take it. I'm talking teams here that are going to want to make things happen. And Emerson Royale just went through the back of Jack Grealish there. It's a bit of a weak one, but he gets a free kick for City in a good area, just on the outside of the penalty area. It is very much on the left-hand side, so it probably is... They're going with a two-man wall, I think. Oh no, they're going with a one-man wall. It's very much a crossing position rather than a shooting position. City could have a pop here, but... Yeah, no, they're going for the cross. Bernardo's going to take the touch. Haaland's was in a space, but City never found the cross. Bernardo's giving it to Rico Lewis. Bernardo once more needs support. Gets some eventually in Kyle Walker. He's going to go deep. A good ball towards Jack, and he can't control it, and out for a goal kick. Bit of a waste that from Manchester City. 1-0 it remains then. Lloris then sends the ball long. It's just miscontrolled that. The header never came in from Kulusevski. Wanted a free kick, not given, and Rico Lewis takes control of it. Still playing on the left-hand side. Here's Kyle Walker for Manchester City. I mean, I'm pretty frustrated that City are going with a back four. A flat back four. They want extra support of Rico Lewis in the middle. And yet, we've arguably let the best left-back in the country and in the league in João Cancelo leave on loan to suit this back three that we've been angling towards. And then for this game, have reverted back to a back four, which keeps chopping and changing to a back three and a back four. And rather than Kyle Walker slotting in as a centre-back, it's more seen Rodri dropping a bit deeper. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about the formation, to be honest. That's a good tackle from Emerson Royal. A couple of words exchanged between Royal and Jack Grealish. Corner Manchester City then. He loves to be the villain, doesn't he, Jack? What can City do from this corner then? I think he's just going to put the ball in. I think he's just going to tell Riyad, we'll put the ball in. I mean, yeah, you've got the likes of Akanji, Rodri, Haaland in there. Pop a ball in. Sent deep. City don't win the initial header, but Alvarez picks it up loose. And he's going to do well to keep that in. Doesn't keep it in. It's just the first initial heavy touch there just took it just a little bit beyond Alvarez's control. I think Alvarez looked a bit frustrated. This game's not been his game, really, at the mo. And I think Kevin De Bruyne, I think before long we might be seeing him or Ilkay Gundogan or both coming on. I'd probably give it maybe a couple more minutes, first 10 minutes if it's not working. I think De Bruyne and Gundogan would be my two, as that's a good header, and Haaland's slow to react, and Spurs do well to avoid the corner with Cristian Romero there and out for a throw-in instead to Manchester City, which is taken quickly by Haaland. Here is Jackie G, gives it to Rico Lewis now. Here is Rodri to Jack Grealish. Grealish crosses it in, and it's not a good cross. Out for a goal kick. And Pep's having a rant, it looks like, on the bench about something. They're trying to encourage the team, but the quality not quite there from Manchester City as of yet. And we're nearly through that first 10-minute phase, so I think the changes would be coming in from City. City being a little bit more aggressive with their defensive headers. Ake wants a game with a tall, powerful header forward. Could have done with that from that initial first corner that we had in the first half. A powerful header rather than trying to guide it towards the back post and someone else to win that header. When he had that free header that time, and Spurs switched off. Lewis gives it to Rodri, and Rodri's going to go for a ball in, and I think Haaland's down. Could do with him getting up, really. He's in an offside position at the mo. Didn't really appeal for a penalty. Bernardo this time attempts a ball in. It's blocked, and Alvarez does well to win a header looped towards Ben Davis. He wins the header, and ball gets lumped forward, and Nathan Ake does well to win the header. Heung-Min Son picks up the loose second ball, and Harry Kane's going to slow the play down here for Spurs. And he'll just go back to Lloris. Lloris then finds the ball forward. The problem is the ball forward there from Ben Davis wasn't very good. It was cut off by Akanji as he's looking for Heung-Min Son. And again, 55 minutes in, Heung-Min Son's been a bit quiet. It's normally Kane that's in them deeper positions, not Son. And Son's normally bursting on the end of them. But here's Kulusevski coming forward. Emerson Royal gets into a good position, and Kulusevski looked like he was going to try and stretch a ball across, but then decided he's going to take Rico Lewis on and never really looked on. So instead he's tackled and out for a corner. I mean, yeah, he gets a corner, but I felt like he could have had a low ball across the box there. They'll have to settle with just the corner. And defensive work here for Manchester City. So we're through that first 10 minutes. And to me, Gundogan, De Bruyne need to be coming on sooner rather than later. Some defending first, though, to do from this corner. And they win the header there, Spurs. And I think Ben Davis will be disappointed not to find the target. Looking lively on these corners, Tottenham. Ederson was really struggling there. City have got to take the positives. The game's not been killed off. They're still in this game. Alvarez does well. He wants a free kick and he'll get a free kick. Spurs just trying to toy with Manchester City. And I said it wouldn't be long before we see Gundogan and De Bruyne. And the latter of them is getting his shirt on. So we're going to be seeing King Kevin, the Ginger Prince, Prince Harry. He's coming on. Here is Akanji for Manchester City. Tell you what, right now is a really good time for City to find a goal. Right now, just before you bring in the fresh legs on, quality fresh legs, right now is a really good time to find a goal. And flicked on from Alvarez past Haaland and straight into the arms of Hugo Lloris. City haven't found any way of getting Haaland involved in this game. Spurs have defended really well against Erling Haaland. But Haaland's just one of them players that, you know, could find space at any one point in the game. And he's capable of scoring the goals. Hojbjerg chipped the ball over towards Kane, and Nathan Ake needs to be strong, and it felt like he'd been brought down, but referee says no, and play is continuing with Spurs with the ball, and eventually dealt with by Nathan Ake as Bernardo Silva works into space here. Kept hold of the ball to be fair with Bernardo, and out for a throw into, I think, to Spurs. Bernardo just ran out of room, didn't have any support, and that's going to allow Manchester City to get their substitution in place, and it's going to be Riyad Mahrez that's going to come off, and Kevin De Bruyne is the man that is going to come on for Manchester City. So maybe City looking towards this right-hand side to try and find a bit of quality. That's a sensible move. Although he's gone down the centre, and I think Alvarez might have been told to go down the right-hand side maybe. But we'll see. I'm just thinking it might be a bit... It'll be sensible to put De Bruyne on that right-hand side, because if City are finding space, Kevin De Bruyne is one of them players that seems to be a rarity these days, but he can use both feet. So if they're covering one side, De Bruyne can work it onto the other side and get quality balls into the box. In fact, he's one of them players that can arguably put a better ball in with his left foot than his right foot. And he's a right-footed player. So we'll see. City have got a bit of defending to do here, and Haaland's had to drop deep to help the team out, and Rico Lewis does really well for City in the end, and Jack Grealish is brought down by Eric Dyer there. Kicked in the shin, and free kick. And you know what? I'm pretty happy to have a free kick there. Just Tottenham had committed players forward. If they pressed us, City were looking a bit short. So I'm happy for City just to have a bit of possession. But we're through the first 15 minutes or so here of the second half. City have rolled the first dice with the sub of Kevin De Bruyne. He gets a free kick for Manchester City. And it's a bit of a cheap free kick for Spurs to give away that after De Bruyne had found the pass, and it was to no one in particular, and the ball had been given away and then got shoulder barged in the face, and it's a weak free kick. I think City were a bit unhappy that Eric Dyer's committed 2 fouls in under 30 seconds, yet I don't think the referee's had a word with him. But that's not a problem. City have got a set piece here. Floated towards the back post. Nathan Ake wins the header and straight into the arms of the goalkeeper. City just... you get a feeling it's not going to be your day. Oh, man. Right, we're 39 likes away from 100 likes, so any help towards that would be much appreciated. Subscribe if you're new around here too. Press that red button, press the bell and put your push notifications on. Do go and check out today's video sponsor. Brought to you by BetMate. Links and details in the description and also in the live chat. So we're going to crack open the Iron Brew. See if we can get a bit of Scottish power into us. That's a good ball forward, and poor touch from Harry Kane. And City actually got a bit of space here. De Bruyne tries to thread one through to Haaland, and it's the first time really that City look like they might have the stretch on Spurs, because Haaland's going to win a foot race with Eric Dyer, but not the best of balls from De Bruyne. But the first time City have found that space, and Akanji Gets the pressure on, and it's a good ball into space. And here's Hojbjerg. He's got company though, and not the greatest of passes. And that's brilliant work from Nathan Ake. He gets a goal kick for Manchester City as well. Bit desperate, but good work from Manchester City defensively. Spurs fans are encouraged by what they see. City looked a bit stretched there. I think Kyle Walker was the one keeping them on side after a defensive line was being held. Craig's very happy with that, so I'll say cheers. I don't have any Guinness. I don't like Guinness. There's no Guinness in the Iron Brew. But we'll see if the Iron Brew can bring a bit of luck to Manchester City then. 28 minutes to play. Spurs lead here by 1-0. Here's De Bruyne then. Good ball over to Jack Grealish, and a good touch from Jack Grealish. And he goes down, gets a free kick as well on Emerson Royale there, Jack Grealish. It was good work from Jack Grealish because he wasn't going anywhere. I don't think he's going to attempt the cross with his left foot, and if he is, it's not going to be very good. So he takes a heavier touch, which is going to see the ball go out of play, anticipating the foul, and there was a slightly heavier ball over the top. It's a good little dink over the legs of Emerson Royale, and he buys a nice free kick for City right by the touchline on the City attacking left-hand side. And this is Kevin De Bruyne territory. I wouldn't rule out De Bruyne going for a little fizzled cross-come shot straight at the keeper. And Erling Haaland knows that, just drifting towards that near post. I think De Bruyne is going here for the near post. Oh no, he just squares it across the penalty area. City lever it, it's cleared. Oh, it's great work. And Alvarez makes really clean connection. And we nearly had our first goal at Spurs' new stadium. Oh, he knew nothing about it, Eric Dyer then. He knew nothing about it. Just gets his knee onto it. I'm not sure if it was going in. The deflection could have gone anywhere. It goes over the top of the crossbar. And De Bruyne fooled everybody. He fooled me there. I thought he was going near post. See if anyone gets a touch onto it. We've just got to settle for a corner then. 64 minutes in. I could really do with finding a goal soon if we want to win this game, to be honest. De Bruyne floats one. Back post. Rodri eventually gets hold of the ball. Alvarez. So it is Alvarez that's gone on the right-hand side. He gets a crossing only as far as Akanji, and he has a shot. City want a handball. Gives it to De Bruyne. He places a shot, and it's wide. Now City asks for the handball. I don't. The player just chucked himself at the block. I don't see what the player can do about this, to be honest. I don't know who it was that did the block. Let's have a look on the replay. Nah, it just ricochets off Romero's leg. Not for me. I mean, Ake could have got his foot onto De Bruyne's shot there. Not for me. Because it comes off his leg. No. That's a poor giveaway from Spurs. And Rodri's pass again. Not good in them areas. And Spurs break away. It's 4-on-4. Heung-Min's son. Take him out. Cross comes in. And how Harry Kane doesn't follow that in at the back post. How? I don't think Ederson's got a touch on this. I don't understand how Kane's not tapped this in. Oh, it's just beyond Kane, and yeah, that could have been a nasty injury for Kane on the post. I am on the Iron Brew, Mixed. We're now 38 likes away from 100 likes, and as Craig says, a big let-off for Manchester City there. Don't forget to subscribe as well if you're new around here. Press that red button, press the bell, and put your push notifications on. And do go and check out today's video sponsor, BetMate. Links and details there in the description and also in the live chat. So, Ederson to take the goal kick here for Manchester City. Gives it to Rico Lewis. I'm wondering how long it is before we might see Ilkay Gundogan come into this game. I'd be half tempted to be taking one of Lewis or Rodri off the track, because we may as well lose this game 2-0 and be pushing for the points, to be honest. I mean, right now, if we get a point's better than no points, and a points gain on Arsenal is better than no gain on Arsenal, but realistically, looking at the points City have dropped already this season, you'd be looking towards some of the games where City normally drop points and looking to try and not drop any of them points really. And I look towards games at Hojbjerg miles offside, and I'm happy. Hojbjerg chips it and puts it in the back of the net. The linesman's on it. It's a good chip from Pierre-Emile-Hojbjerg. And he is offside. The correct decision is made. And, fair credit to the linesman there. The linesman knows that he's offside. They keep saying you've got to wait for VAR to make the decision, but he's a good yard offside. The linesman gets a clear view. He is a full yard offside. It just needs that gap. Oh, Julian Alvarez just hits the ball over the bar. That was good work. City looking better. Looking better. It's a good ball from Kyle Walker into the gap, and Alvarez gets a good shot, and Hugo Lloris, I've just remembered, Alvarez and Lloris is a repeat of the World Cup final again. And Alvarez ain't far away there, a yard. And this is may well get given away again from Spurs. They're very lucky to get away with that. And Emerson Royale can give it to Kulusevski. Goes up against Rico Lewis. Here is Kulusevski now. Onto his left foot, gives it to Emerson Royale, and Rico Lewis follows it all the way. That's much, much better defending from Rico Lewis there. And Spurs now looking for some gaps. Eric Dias stepped forward. Spurs can't really afford to be giving this ball away in this area. They send the ball long, and Heung-Min Son's not going to get on the end of that, and Ederson's just going to whack this clear. It's a good ball, and Haaland challenged for it well, and Nathan Ake does really well, and no, City can't do a combination to get control of the ball. There's a 4-on-3 here. Harry Kane, right hand side, goes for the shot. Poor decision, wide. Game opening up here. Might Spurs start looking towards the bench? I was going to suggest perhaps Richarlison, but he's not really done anything wrong, and to be honest, if they're needing energy and fresh legs at the back or in the middle, really, as it's a poor touch from Julian Alvarez. There's a big gap in midfield that's been exploited, and Spurs will be all over this if City let it continue. Here's Heung-Min Son, gives it to Harry Kane, and Kane drives, and a good save, and out for, I think a goal kick. I think it's come off Kane's shin. And goal kick given, and 2 let-offs for Manchester City. Why is Rodri just letting Heung-Min Son breeze past him there? Why is Akanji just letting Harry Kane get past him there? It's weak defending, and City are lucky. It's a good save from Ederson, that. Critical of his Spurs' first goal. I genuinely felt Stefan Ortega-Moreno would have made the save on the Kane initial shot. But that was a good save from Ederson. And keeps Manchester City in this. This goes 2-0, 20 minutes left. I think the game's done. Here's Grealish, goes down, free kick. City's still alive. 37 likes to go. Can we get there? 37. Kevin stood over this, crossing position then, about 40 yards out. Something good into the box, right on the penalty spot. Get it on Rodri's head, or... Oh. The set pieces into the box have been poor from City. Here's Bernardo. Cross comes in. Headed clear. I don't think crosses are the way to go. I don't think this Spurs team are conceding off them, to be honest. And Jack Grealish is brought down. That'll be another free kick on Kulusevski. A feisty game, this. 19 minutes to play. Jack Grealish gets City another free kick. There's very little in that from Kulusevski, to be honest. There's Jack Grealish. Finds De Bruyne. He goes down. Cross comes in. Headed clear by Spurs. And Jack Grealish asking the question again, why has he not got a free kick? And City have been told to stop. There's an injury to... is it Emerson Royale? I think. It's gone down. City wanted to get on with that quick then, take a quick throw in and get on with it. Emerson Royale sat back up again. Is it Royale or is it Romero? Romero, I think. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with Romero. Jack Grealish not happy. Wanted a free kick. He wanted a second yellow for Romero there. Cynical foul. He's on thin ice, Cristian Romero, I'd say. Anyway, here is Nathan Ake. Gives it to Rodri. The game's really stretched and opened up, but City haven't been clinical. And to be honest, there's been some shots, but Lloris has had very little to do. Here's Rodri once more. Gives it to Bernardo just about. Maybe Spurs giving it so long before going towards the bench. Players like Bissouma could be very useful. Jack Grealish just about keeps that passing from Nathan Ake, and Grealish centralising himself. Gets a push in the back from Kulusevski. He doesn't go down, and Rodri gives it to Kyle Walker now. Walker going to go for the cross and out for a corner. Come on. Hojbjerg with the block and a corner for Manchester City. And we've not had many corners really in front of our own away fans on the City attacking right-hand side here in front of the away fans. Can City finally get something of quality into the box? Ask a question of Lloris, see if we can find a goal. De Bruyne takes. It's a good ball in, but it's headed over the bar and out for a goal kick. It's hopeful. More than anything else, ladies and gentlemen, it's hopeful. And yeah. That's going to be a cheap free kick given away by Nathan Ake there. It was very obvious to me what Kulusevski was looking for. Has his hands on him, so he can give a free kick because he's got his hands on him. He doesn't need to do that. And possession stats much closer. 55-45 in the second half. Shots for Spurs, 5 for Manchester City. But as I said, Lloris has had nothing to do. No shots on target in the second half from Manchester City, and time is running out. And as I said before, how long is it before we see the Sun's got around Walker here? As I was saying, how long is it before we see Ilkay Gundogan? And poor touch from Spurs, and City can get it clear. Not fully clear, and eventually City will surround out Kulusevski and can bring the ball away here. Here's Alvarez then, gives it to Bernardo Silva. And that's good work from Bernardo, and he'll buy a free kick, and that should be a yellow card as well for, is it Hojbjerg, I think? Yeah. Cynical foul. Sorry, Ivan Perisic. Cynical foul on Bernardo Silva. 15 minutes then. Big 15 minutes here for City's season. De Bruyne goes really deep towards Ake, hooks it back in, and City want a handball. City are insistent on a handball there. Nathan Ake makes a tackle, and Akanji makes a tackle. I think City get a corner, and now City go to the referee to ask for the handball. Apart from Jack Grealish, who's gone over to go and take the corner. He's not bothered about this. Let's have a look. Some pushing and shoving going on between Hojbjerg. Where's the handball? I don't really know where the handball was there. Not for me. I don't really get where the handball was there. Unless there's another angle or anything. I don't think there was that much in that, to be honest. Anyway, corner. Grealish takes it short. De Bruyne gives it to Rico Lewis. Kyle Walker's going to set up a rocket as a shot, blocked and straight into the arms of Lloris, who's going to send it long. Not the greatest ball, but nearly pays off. Heung-Min Son still got hold of the ball, though. It's a 3-on-3 here. Here's Heung-Min Son. Take him out. And Son has a shot, and Ederson gets to it. Get back in your net, Ederson. Kane goes for the cross. Hojbjerg bounces up nicely and wide. in the end. Waste there from Tottenham Hotspur. De Bruyne should be taking the touch away from Son, so that attack should have been snuffed out right near halfway. Ederson makes a good save. And I was going to be critical of Ederson going out to meet Kane, but because he went out to meet Kane, couldn't get an angle to get a shot away. So he had to turn, and that turn allowed Ederson to get back in his goal. Whereas if Ederson had just stayed on his line there, I think Kane might have been tempted to take a touch and then fire a rocket at his near post to go up towards that near post and up into the roof of the net. But with him going to meet him out, kind of ruled out the angle. And City, 3 chances now survived. But coming forward, still in the game, 13 minutes remaining. Remember, it only takes a moment to score. Walker. Be nice to see City finally score at this ground. Rico Lewis can't get hold of the ball, but De Bruyne can. Nathan Ake will give it to Manuel Akanji. Here is Akanji coming forward for Manchester City once more. Gives it to Rodri. Gives it to Grealish. And that's good from De Bruyne, and Grealish is into the penalty area and a heavy touch and out for what I think is a corner. And he's given a goal kick. No, he's given a goal kick. Grealish can't believe it. It's a brilliant tackle. And let's have a look. I mean, it was just a massive corner. That's a brilliant tackle, but I don't... Oh no, that was a goal kick. That was a good decision from the referee there, from that angle. Ivan Perisic then is going to be Tottenham's first change. 12 minutes remaining. 36 likes to go. Any help towards that would be much appreciated. Subscribe as well if you're new around here. Press that red button, press the bell and put your push notifications on. And do go and check out today's video sponsor, BetMate. Links and details there in the description and also in the live chat. So a goal kick here for Tottenham Hotspur. I do feel like there's another goal in this game. And if City can find an equaliser, whilst it would be great that City could win this game, it would be, in the position that we've put ourselves in, it would be a decent point. Doesn't really help us in our push to chase down Arsenal. 5 points becomes 4 points. Isn't a massive difference, to be honest. But it just stops you losing and thinking about that loss. A draw from the position that we're in isn't the worst result. And it is a gain of a point. And we do have Arsenal to play in less than 2 weeks' time. So if we can beat Villa and beat Arsenal, then we're right where we want to be, near enough. It's just a fact of if we win this game, you could potentially see Arsenal crumble. Yeah, I can see at some point, if Man City do eventually get hot on the tail of Arsenal and pressure gets applied, I don't think Arsenal have the bottle of what the title race of City and Liverpool had, which is both teams going neck and neck, winning, was it 12 or 13 games in a row? I don't think Arsenal have that. I think if City get that pressure on, I think they'll crumble under that pressure. But they need to get that pressure onto them, and here's a brilliant opportunity today to have done that. And Akanji needs to be stronger. Akanji needs to take Kane out there. Son comes forward. It's going to amount to nothing on the first wave of the attack, but Hojbjerg finds space. We should have regrouped by now, and it's just Akanji steps forward, just needs to take him out, to me. So brilliant. You know, Emerson Royale's had a really good game today. Really good game. De Bruyne has looked lively since coming on. How long is it before we do look towards the bench? Lloris sends it long. Nathan Ake's just been wrestled by Harry Kane there, and his arm was all over his neck. The referee gives a free kick to City. Correct decisions. Time running out. 8.5 minutes to go, plus, what, 3 or 4 minutes to be added on? I mean, there haven't been that many stoppages, to be honest. I wouldn't rule out it being only 3 minutes being added on, to be fair. And Rodri somehow finds a pass forward to Bernardo Silva. Here is Julian Alvarez now. Plays it across to De Bruyne, and De Bruyne can't take the touch. And Spurs can come forward. Harry Kane does well twice to avoid the challenge, and ball gets played forward to... is that Sessegnon? Is that Sessegnon that's come on? For Perisic before? Ball gets played across, and Rico Lewis does so well. He wants a free kick there, Rico Lewis. Ederson's fuming. He's shouting at the referee, and he's got a yellow card for his trouble. I think Rico Lewis intercepted the ball and got pushed in the back, and the referee's given a corner. Yeah, it was a free kick, that. Definitely not handball that Spurs fans are asking for. The players weren't asking for it. It was Man City that were unhappy, and they're unhappy that a corner's been given to Spurs for what should have been a free kick for Manchester City. But Spurs will look good on their set pieces, so more defending here for Manchester City to do here. Heung-Min Son to whip a ball in towards Ederson, gets a fist onto it. Good keeping that from Ederson. Back to Heung-Min Son. Can't get past Julian Alvarez, but Eric Dyer can pick the loose ball up, and he could square a ball across, and Haaland does well. And eventually City will get a free kick for a handball on Heung-Min Son, which Spurs are unhappy about. And Son's going to have to run back now and to get through a bit of defending. Andy Madley's pointing towards the substitutions as Tottenham are bringing on another player. And we are going to see Silky Ilkay coming on. So Heung-Min Son's going to come off. Not really been Son's day today. He's a little lively, but he's not been what you would expect Heung-Min Son to be doing against Manchester City. So Son comes off. Bernardo comes off for Manchester City for Ilkay Gundogan. As it's Bissouma that's come on for Son. 6 minutes to play then. Akanji barks an order at Rico Lewis, and he's pressed. Nearly given away again. Here is Ederson. Might be tempted to go long here. He doesn't. Gives it to Rodri instead. City looking for the space. Akanji's in some space, so he can work it down the right-hand side. He's got Gundogan, he's got De Bruyne, he's got Kyle Walker, who he uses further ahead of him. Walker does well, finds Akanji. Walker can see the run of De Bruyne, only as far as Julian Alvarez, flicks one across into the penalty area. Headed clear, here is Rodri, gives it to Jack Grealish on the left-hand side. Ake now back to Rodri again. De Bruyne is sitting a bit deeper on the right-hand side. Not the best of balls from Rodri. Honestly, he's not had the best of games, to be honest, Rodri. Which is a massive shame, and Jack Grealish does well, and a goal kick given against Grealish there. Emerson Royale did a good recovery there, Emerson Royale. As we're into the final 5 minutes of this game. Can Man City rescue something from this game? Honestly, right now, where we are in the game, I think if City can find an equaliser, then I think that it's a point gained rather than 2 points lost. Craig, completely agree. I think the problem they've gone with is they've gone attacking from the off. Grealish, Mahrez, Alvarez and Haaland all starting. City normally go with 3 attackers, so we're automatically going with the 4 attackers, so you've not got that option unless you want to change the formations, really. They've not really got any options from the bench. Gundogan and De Bruyne are the only 2, and I was crying out for them to come on at 60 minutes. I'd have had both of them on within the hour. I think 20 minutes a bit too late for bringing Gundogan on to have any impact on this game, in my opinion. That's given away. Here is Grealish. Ooh, good word from Jack Grealish, and he's brought down Romero. Oh, he's off. Romero's off. Red card. Red card, Cristian Romero. Tackle on Jack Grealish there. Eric Dier's just going to tell him to leave the pitch. I mean, Spurs have got the option here. They can bring an extra defender on and take an attacker off. They're defending for the next 4 minutes. So that red card doesn't really have much of an impact. If this was 25 minutes ago, maybe, but I'm more excited that City's got a good free kick and a good position here. So don't forget, leave a thumbs up. That'd be much appreciated. That'd be much appreciated. Don't forget as well to subscribe. And also don't forget as well to go and check out today's video sponsor, which is in the description and also in the live chat. And Foden, yeah, he's had a niggling little injury. So he's injured and out at the moment. And Cristian Romero sent off. And Davinson Sanchez is going to come off, and this will be one of the attackers coming off. To be honest, I'd probably be taking Kane off. They're not going to. It's going to be Kulusevski. I'd have kept Kulusevski on for his pace, to be honest, on the counter, rather than Harry Kane. So I'd probably say that it probably ends Spurs' counter-attacking abilities unless Hojbjerg and Bissouma are going to support Kane in bursting forward. There's probably going to see us have 4 or 5 minutes of added on time now, this. As we're into the last 2 minutes of the normal time. Davinson Sanchez comes on for Kulusevski in response to the red card for Cristian Romero. Kevin De Bruyne stood over this free kick. There's a 3-man Tottenham Hotspur wall. The problem is about 35 yards out. Take a really good free kick to score from here. But this is Kevin De Bruyne we're talking about. Kevin De Bruyne can do anything from anywhere, really. He stood over this. It looks like he's going to go for a direct hit. Ben Davies has been given a warning on Erling Haaland, I think, there. Julian Alvarez joins the Tottenham Hotspur wall. So City, I think De Bruyne's just going to put his foot through this. He needs to try and get this, keep it down, really. Straight into the wall. Yeah, not the greatest from KDB. He's been smacked in the face. And he's going to stop the play. That's City very frustrated with that. Have a look. I don't even think it hits Hojbjerg's face. I think Harry Kane's head might have just clipped Hojbjerg's head, and Hojbjerg's then gone to ground because he knows it stopped Man City. City were in a good crossing position. So, as I said, I think we're going to go into 5 minutes of added on time here. City will get the ball back. But can Man City find their first ever goal at Spurs' new stadium? And can they rescue a result here? Currently the Spurs physios are saying, we know you're all right, Hojbjerg, but if you just, rub your head, we'll make it look a bit sore, and we'll put you on the, we'll take you across to the line once you've wasted enough time, and we're into added on time, and that's another minute eaten away. So we're into the first. Let's see how long it's going to be added on. I suspect it's probably about like 5 minutes, maybe 6. Yeah, 5 minutes. 5 minutes. I thought it might be 6 minutes just because of the 1 minute that we lost action there, but they've given 5 instead of 6. And City received the ball in a good area, and Rico Lewis with a good ball in, and that's good goalkeeping from Hugo Lloris. He collects the ball and hugs the ball. City found no way of getting Haaland involved in this game, but there's still 4 minutes left for Manchester City to try and find something. I think it's getting towards pretty desperate times here. I mean, the problem Spurs have got with taking Kulusevski off and putting an extra defender on is just what Hugo Lloris has done there, which is the ball's been launched forward, Harry Kane's isolated, and Man City all of a sudden now 40 yards away from Spurs' goal again. So for the next 4 minutes, it's just going to be a barrage. They're going to sit on it. It's just can Spurs hold firm? Jack Grealish towards the penalty area, gives it to Nathan Ake. Centrally worked to Rodri. Gets it to De Bruyne. He will go with a cross and headed clear and headed well. Here is Rodri, and that's going to be a free kick to Tottenham Hotspur all day long. Rodri's had a terrible game for Manchester City today. A terrible, terrible game. And Mixed, yeah, you spot on. I can see the Premier League from next season introducing that as a rule, to be honest, from the World Cup, to cut out the time wasting. Literally just add on all the time together, and the time will probably amount to 9 or 10 minutes. And for the first few games, it will be that long. But once you get past it, teams will soon learn to stop time wasting. In the second half here, the ball's probably been out of play for a good 10 to 12 minutes. I feel pretty lucky that we've got 5 added on, to be honest. De Bruyne goes with an early ball across. Not the greatest, but it will be kept in play by Jack Grealish. Here is Nathan Ake. And he's going to dink it in towards Alvarez, and a heavy touch and a clearance from Spurs. Spurs have got everyone back, so any clearance they're making is just coming back to them in another wave of an attack. And I think City's options here will just be give KDB the ball and put a ball into the box. Akanji goes this time. Back post is picked up by Jack Grealish. Fizzles something across the box. Rico Lewis gets it to Nathan Ake. It's not really where I want our defenders to be, on the edge of the penalty area, but here's Jackie G. Goes back post and scrambled, and Lloris takes out Rodri, and City want a penalty. And Lloris is down. I think he's been punched in the face here by Lloris. And I think Lloris gets hold of the ball. I think might just what stops this. But it's clotheslines Rodri out. Not a penalty, I don't think, for me, that. And he follows through on Rodri, but he gets the hand to the ball. Now, does Lloris get the ball, or does Rodri win the header? I don't think that's a penalty for me. I think that as a corner being given. Rodri's been clattered, absolutely clattered. Brave keeping, and I think Lloris is a little bit lucky. Some will call it good goalkeeping. Some will say he's good. Some will say dangerous. I think a goal kick. I thought Lloris got the punch onto that. It looked like he got there ahead of Rodri and then just clotheslined him. So I don't really understand how a goal kick's being given. So we're through the 5 minutes nearly, but there should be an extra minute and a half at least, really, on this with the stoppage, as Spurs are just giving the ball away again. And the pressure gets put back onto Spurs again. Here is De Bruyne then. Gives it to Rodri inside the Spurs half. There's 13 seconds left of the game, plus whatever the referee wants to add on, which should be, as I said, a good 60 to 90 seconds for that Rodri injury there. Here is Rodri then to De Bruyne. He thought about going for the cross. Goes second time, and Emerson Royale, Sky Sports have given their man of the match to... No, he's giving a free kick against Jack Grealish. City can't believe it. Emerson Royale should be up there for the man of the match, in my opinion. He's been excellent for Spurs. They've given it to Hojbjerg. He's had a good game, but I think Emerson Royale and Ivan Perisic have done very well in nullifying Man City's attack. I think the problem falls here for City is they've not found any way of getting Haaland involved in the game. And I think Alvarez has been a bit too deep, and Spurs go long, and it's an awful giveaway from Spurs again. What are they doing? And there should be a good 30 seconds or so left here, really. And here's De Bruyne into another crossing position. He's going to get snuffed out here. And they want a free kick, Spurs. I don't think they're going to get one. But they are going to get the ball back, which is just as vital. They want to waste time here. And that's poor from Kyle Walker. He's going to go into the book. He had nowhere to go. There's still a good 30 seconds or so left of the game, but there was nowhere to go. I think Kyle Walker just let his frustrations out there. I think City will be frustrated, and they'll be frustrated because they've gifted Tottenham a goal, so Tottenham have been gifted a 3 points. They've had to work really hard defensively for the 3 points, but in the end, Manchester City just come up short and not really being that good. And over the last few... is that the full-time whistle? Yeah, there we go. So Tottenham win the game by 1-0. And I think the problem that Man City have here is over the last few games, when we've been playing at home, we've not papered over cracks, so to speak, but Man City have had enough about them to find the goals that they have needed. But as an overall assessment, since we've come back from the World Cup, creatively, we've just not been there. And I just don't think this back three leaves Man City at our creative best. And we have Bernardo playing in a deeper position. We've got Rodri, you've got Rico Lewis cutting in. But City still are leaking goals. And I think you have to accept that with how City play, we're going to leak goals. So rather than trying to shore things up and not to concede as many, is disrupting our attacking momentum. And I'm always concerned when... I wouldn't be that concerned if Man City just weren't clinical and were missing really good opportunities. But there wasn't that many really good opportunities. And you know when you're going away to Tottenham Hotspur, you're going to have to... You're not going to create that much. You're just going to have to be on it. And that Riyad Mahrez opportunity in the first half, hitting the crossbar, they're the opportunities really that need to be put into the back of the net. But Man City creatively weren't really creating that much. And I think as Mick Sid says there, this back three, to me, needs binning off. And I think... I've not said this yet, but I'll say it now that we've had the result that's come in. My opinion now is Manchester City, with the back three and letting Cancelo go, don't look creatively any better. They look worse. And defensively, they look just as vulnerable as what we did when we was playing with a flat back four. And if you think back to when we was playing a flat back four, how good a player like João Cancelo was playing at left back, because he was a creative player that could make things happen. He was good with his balls into the box. He was good with his football knowledge. He was good at cutting in. He could chip in with the odd goal here or there. Kyle Walker could do the same every now and then. He'd have a good ball into the box. He could find the back of the net. And we've not really seen any of that. And it's almost like Man City's game plan is, if Jack Grealish or Riyad Mahrez aren't on it on that game, then all hope goes to Erling Haaland. And realistically, it's games like today where you need the other players to be stepping up as well, to find them important moments, to find them important goals. And I don't think this formation works. I think it's far too technical for the players that we've got. Rico Lewis is a fantastic young prospect, but he is just that. He's a young prospect. Is Manuel Akanji a step up on our other players that we've got? Ruben Dias, Aymeric Laporte, I think they're, certainly in the terms of their experience, have more about them to the Manchester City squad than Manuel Akanji. And I was mentioning at the beginning of the stream, and I'm going to be insistent with what I said at the beginning of the stream, and I agree with Pep's approach that if you are training well and you are playing well, you should start in the next game. And whilst we've been winning the games, that's fabulous, that's fantastic, and that's what City have gone. So I don't blame the team selection for today for this happening, but I don't necessarily have a look at how Manchester City are doing when we're winning games. I look more towards Manchester City and how we're doing when we're not winning games and how you respond. And we've won our last few games. I think it was a run of 3 games in a row, picking up some pretty good wins along the way, including that match last week in the FA Cup against Arsenal. However, we've not won this game. We've lost this game. So in the next game, there should be changes to the team, including the likes of De Bruyne comes in, Gundogan comes in, Laporte comes in, Diaz comes in. That's what you do. And I'm almost insistent that Pep Guardiola next week against Aston Villa won't bring them changes. He'll just do what he's stuck to, which is looks in the squad, looks in how they've been training, and will select players. So players like Akanji will end up starting again next week when in reality, we just don't look like we are where we need to be. And as others are pointing out there, it's the formation here, and it's the squad, and we've not really got the squad that's needed to push forward to achieve what they want to achieve. And because of that, I do fear for the season. And if I'm an Arsenal fan, or I'm an Arsenal player right now, I'd be firstly very happy that their poor result yesterday away at Everton hasn't been capitalised upon by Manchester City. But I also, for Arsenal, it isn't the time. We know what it takes to win the Premier League. Well, certainly with our squad, and recently we know what it takes to win the Premier League. Arsenal have won Premier Leagues before, but Arsenal haven't got that experience there. And what Arsenal can't afford to do is, in their mind, going into their next game next week, I think they've got Brentford on Saturday, is be complacent in that game. Brentford are a team that came to the Etihad and beat us, and if Arsenal aren't on it next week, Brentford will be up for that game and could end up dropping points if they are complacent because they think they've got away with one today because Man City haven't capitalised upon it. Now, it's for another video, for another time for me to sit down and say how many times have Man City had a chance to seriously put pressure onto Arsenal, and each and every time haven't gone out there and made that happen, which is so frustrating. So frustrating. But to me, we've had half a season, so I've got enough time to judge on what I've seen. And from what I've seen, firstly, as Catiso says in the live chat there, Pep does not right now know his strongest 11. I don't know Manchester City's strongest 11. And that, to me, creates problems. Creates serious problems in the squad. It creates unhappiness. There is... I don't know what the dressing room's like, because I'm not in the dressing room, but I do get to see what I see on the pitch, and the players look frustrated as hell. They don't just look frustrated. They don't just look like... Sometimes Man City just kick out every now and then, just look a bit frustrated and almost robotic, and that doesn't seem to be there. City just look out and out frustrated. And as Ilkay Gundogan had said a few weeks ago, it's just incredibly clear that right now something isn't right at Manchester City. That something that isn't right is João Cancelo leaving to go to Bayern Munich on loan, when in actual fact he's a fantastic football player. And really, Man City should be doing everything they can to get as much quality out of these players as they can. And today's frustrating. It's frustrating because you look to the bench: De Bruyne, Gundogan, Dias, Laporte. Fantastic. High-end football players. These players walk into any starting 11 of any Premier League. Hell, they walk into any starting 11 of any European team out there, but they're being kept out of the Man City squad by players like Akanji, by Lewis, and yeah, they're working hard, and yeah, they should be starting these games because they've earned their place. They've played well in the previous games, they've won them previous games, so they should be starting in these games. My problem lies in when things don't go well, Man City don't really change it up, and I can guarantee against Villa next week that City will be starting Akanji and will probably be starting Rico Lewis. When in actual fact, next week it should be the likes of Diaz and Laporte coming into the team, giving their opportunity to show what they can do, and that's where they need to grab their opportunity with both hands, because the squad harmony right now, they've seen João Cancelo. I'm going to presume João Cancelo has expressed interest to leave Manchester City because he's frustrated with his game time. That publicly is what he has said, and he won't be the only player. Ruben Dias will be watching this game from the bench frustrated. Laporte will be watching this game frustrated, and next week they should be starting, and they probably won't, and that's just leading to, it disrupts the squad harmony, so to speak. And Manchester City, this formation just looks well off. It looks well off. And whilst Erling Haaland's been scoring goals, it's fantastic. City have to find a way to make Erling Haaland work in their lineup, and the way you do that is through service. Erling Haaland has to have service, and today we've lost the game, and Erling Haaland has had no service whatsoever. There was no through balls played into him. He wasn't being given any space by the Tottenham Hotspur defenders. which is where the players like Jack Grealish, like Riyad Mahrez, like Kevin De Bruyne should be being able to try and make things happen. It was very obvious to me anyway that I thought Alvarez played better second half, but it wasn't really working. It wasn't really Alvarez's day. I don't really get why changes weren't made with Gundogan and De Bruyne coming on from the hour mark. There's just a whole category of why today happened, but it's frustrating again that City against Spurs at the Etihad, the goals that we conceded were through our own mistakes, and today again punished for that. Mick said, you spot on, not replace David Silva. It's taken us over a season to replace Sergio Aguero. And the problem I have with this squad harmony that City have got, these players might be frustrated. These players might want to leave, and it's fine and well. We could go out there and have a big summer transfer of letting 4 or 5 senior first-team players leave. My problem lies with it takes Man City forever to replace players. City will sell 4 or 5 players and replace them with 2 or 3, and it just leaves gaping holes in the squad, and the squad just needs to be freshened up season upon season upon season, whereas in actual fact, if Man City want to let Cancelo leave on a permanent basis, let him leave on a permanent basis. If Man City want to play a back 3 and you want to play a left back that's going to play as a back 4 when we're off the ball, and when we're on the ball he's playing in defensive midfield, you go out there and you sign the very best of the players that's capable of doing so. City in the transfer market, other than signing Erling Haaland, I've not been that impressed with Manchester City because the players that they bring in are either players for the future, which is fantastic, great. Players like Alvarez, players like Maximo Perrone that we've brought in. That's fine. That helps improve the squad depth. It improves the team in that instance. But it doesn't help improve the overall starting 11. And I don't think Man City's starting 11 this season is stronger than last season. And we've signed Erling Haaland. We were missing a striker last season. Yet our squad looks weaker this season than it did last season, even though we've addressed that issue because we've allowed teething problems to come from elsewhere. Now, some of the senior first-team players, if they've got a bad attitude and they're not showing up, then keep them out of the squad. Don't put them on the bench. Put a young player on the bench. Get them training on their own. Get them out of the club. If that's where they're at, mentally, the players, and they're not up for the fight, they're not up for the challenge, why wait? Let them leave. Bring somebody else in. They've just missed a great opportunity in the transfer window. If that is the case, but it's just typical Manchester City against Tottenham Hotspur. They haven't got an answer at London, in North London at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. They haven't got an answer. They don't know how to score there. They don't know how to win there, and they don't have any answers. The Etihad, fine against them. But they got away with one at the Etihad and then punished today in what was a great opportunity to make gains on Arsenal. So that was very frustrating from Manchester City. And Manchester City, I think, just need to go back to the drawing board. And I think they need a good response next week against Aston Villa. De Bruyne, Gundogan, Diaz and Laporte, to me, 4 players there that should be starting. You know, these are senior first-team players. They've got the quality. Let them go out there and see what they can do. And, move on from that. I mean, City, you know, we've got no option now. We've got to dwell for the next 7 days on what was a poor performance today overall from Manchester City, and it was just a bit disappointing. And once again, we're just a little bit flat. We were dominating the first 15 minutes. We weren't really having any shots. And just got to be aggressive. So I've been saying it for a long time. We've been getting these wins, but we haven't put anyone to the sword. And I just feel like with so much frustration building up for Manchester City, what they need to do is go out there and put 7 goals past the team to just ease all their problems, so they can look at a performance and say that is what we're looking for, game after game after game. And it's just been a bit scrappy from Manchester City. We're looking exactly at what we have, which is a very tired squad, needing fresh energy, lacking a little bit in quality, playing a formation that they don't look like they know how to utilise, And it's just been a long, hard, fought-out season with a World Cup sandwiched in the middle. And I can see City by the time April, May time comes out, the squad just being absolutely knackered. And so we will hit a point, and I think we will have an answer in about 4 weeks' time. Manchester City will have an answer as to what their ambitions need to be for the season. I think if City end up losing to Arsenal and Arsenal win next weekend, and Manchester City, I mean, regardless of whether we beat Aston Villa or not, I would say that if things go south for Man City in the next 2 Premier League games, and worst case scenario, Man City end up 11 points behind Arsenal, I think I'd probably be tempted with the games we've got coming up in the FA Cup and the Champions League. I'd be tempted to sack the Premier League off. If we end up 11 points behind Arsenal by the time we face them next Wednesday, and if they end up beating us and we end up 11 points behind them with them actually having a game in hand, I would sack the Premier League off. I would say that that's done and dusted. We can use the Premier League as a chance to rotate the squad and keep things fresh and move the focus, because right now the squad looks knackered and I'm very concerned for a severe burnout of this team. Very severe burnout, and I'm flabbergasted that Man City haven't chosen to add any quality in the January transfer window. I'm amazed that they've let a quality player leave and not replace them. I'm just flabbergasted by it. Absolutely flabbergasted by it. FIFA, I disagree there. I don't think it's a loser's mentality. I think you have to look at the games you've got coming up. There is no point if we end up 11 points behind Arsenal in 2 weeks' time. There is absolutely no point whatsoever in going full strength. We've got a game the weekend against Nottingham Forest. If we're 11 points behind Arsenal, I would be the important players that are going to be starting against Leipzig in the Champions League. I'd be rotating and I'd be focusing on that. There is absolutely no point in burning this squad out to a point where we end up not winning the Premier League or looking like we're going to win the Premier League and then say, actually, we've got a massive Champions League game. There will be, mark my words, 4 weeks' time, there will be a crucial point in Man City's season. It happens every season. Normally, it happens at the end of April, but because of the Winter World Cup and the player fatigue and the smaller squad, that crunching point is going to come earlier in the season. And then the focus has to be put somewhere else. And normally it's the FA Cup semi-final we get to, we sack it on the head and we say we'll go all-out focus. But with where we are at in the point in the season, these next 2 Premier League games decide who wins the Premier League. And if Man City don't win against Villa and Arsenal, to me, I think the Premier League's done and dusted. I think 11 points with Arsenal having a game in hand, it's too many. And considering we're still in the Champions League and we've still got the FA Cup to go at, I just don't see the point in Manchester City forcing the issue in the Premier League. Yeah, you can go with your strong squad and you can see where you can go, but I just don't think it'd be advisable sandwiched between some big games coming up against RB Leipzig, which I'll tell you right now, Manchester City's game 2 matches against RB Leipzig, to me, are the do-all and end-all right now for the season. Absolutely do-all and end-all. Man City go out to RB Leipzig in the last 16 of the Champions League, regardless of the Premier League. That isn't progress. That's an absolute disaster. So that's where the focus has to be. And yeah, I don't care what Big Steve's saying relax in the situation. I'm saying Villa match, Arsenal match, must-win games. Win them games, right in the Premier League. Don't win them games, concerns. That's where we're at. And that's where the focus has to be. FIFA, you're not getting the point that I'm making here. I'm saying that there's decisions for Manchester City to be making coming up. You look at the schedule, just have a look at Manchester City's schedule between now and the beginning of March. They are playing a hell of a lot of games, and their focus has to be on priorities. And right now, where we are in the Premier League, we have to be looking at our next 2 Premier League games and winning both of them Premier League games. They are must-win games. And with Aston Villa at home next week, that's where the focus has to be. That's where Man City need to be freshening that squad up and bringing in players. Because what we saw today, in my opinion, wasn't quite good enough from Manchester City. So it'd be the likes of Akanji, Rico Lewis out. We're bringing in Diaz and Laporte. You're moving Ake to left back and you're keeping Kyle Walker at right back. You're keeping Rodri in the squad because, quite frankly, I've not seen enough of Kalvin Phillips to say Rodri needs to come out and have a break. You're putting Bernardo, you're putting De Bruyne into the team, and you're setting up with your front three, Mahrez, Grealish and Erling Haaland, and you're freshening it up in that way to keep the squad nice and fresh. You could be tempted to chuck in Ilkay Gundogan, to be fair, if you want in a defensive midfield rotation. I think Ilkay Gundogan offers a little bit more offensively to Manchester City if he's playing in holding midfield, more so than what Rodri is. But it all depends on how you're approaching the game, and if you're going to attack the game, if you're going to be defending in the game. And today's game against Tottenham, we already know this from the game at the Etihad. You need to be holding the space. You need to be on it with your distribution, and when the opportunities present themselves, you need to be putting your opportunities away. So Sky Sports are just picking out the points here of Man City, and we're getting back to this formation. It acts almost as a 4-2-4 from Manchester City, and there's not enough. And it's surprising because it just seems very Pep Guardiola not to overload the midfield and have a proper midfield battle. But I just feel like Man City are lacking a bit of energy and a bit of quality in midfield as well. It's very obvious. We know the squad needs freshening up. That will happen in the summer, and just need to march on from there. And whatever will be, so to speak. I mean, it wasn't a terrible performance from Manchester City today. It wasn't a good performance from Manchester City today. They lacked very little creatively. We've had other games this season where we've lacked a bit of creativity. But if you're going to be going with the formation that we're going with, which is playing two in central midfield, you are going to struggle a little bit creatively unless you're going to go really gung-ho. I just say the Sky Sports are analysing here, and there's just so many gaps. I mean, you can overanalyze something. That ball from Rodri when he's off balance, Rodri has to be looking. He has to look at the option. He has to see that Rico Lewis is being pressed, and that ball goes long. That ball goes long. You can have a look at it. You can say, this player should be doing this. This player should be doing that. Rodri should be looking across the line, seeing Rico Lewis is under pressure, not playing that pass and thinking, do you know what? I've got no other option here. You put your foot through it and you send that ball 50 yards longer, and the situation is dealt with. But let's not go away from the fact that Tottenham today could have had 3 or 4 if they were clinical in front of goal in the second half. There was gaps left, right and centre from Manchester City, really. And City didn't really have the answer. It's just my summary is it's typical Manchester City at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. It doesn't surprise me that Tottenham found a goal. It doesn't surprise me that Manchester City didn't score and didn't pick up anything. It doesn't surprise me at all. I think the only bonus we've got this weekend is Everton did us a huge favour in making sure that gap at the top of the Premier League has stayed at 5 points rather than 8. And Arsenal still have the game in hand, but the positive City have is we've still got 2 games coming up against Arsenal, 2 wins against Arsenal, and we're well in the title race, which is the point I was making before. 2 massive games coming up, a home match against Aston Villa, which on paper you expect Manchester City to win, and a match against Arsenal away from home where we genuinely need to start making points back. And that's how we go about it. So there we go. Oh, no, we've lost 2-0 there before. I'm surprised Tottenham didn't kill the game off, to be honest. They had a couple of good opportunities in the second half to kill it off. But, City just... I mean, Aston Villa, as I said, the changes that I'd be making would definitely be Diaz, Laporte, Gundogan, and De Bruyne on in the next game, and seeing how they fare, and get a good summary from there. I'm a little bit concerned about that Leipzig game. Not gonna lie, to be honest. RB Leipzig are a very counter-attacking, very direct, very high-pressing team. Very much like Tottenham Hotspur. And that's a huge game. That's a massive game coming up. And after next week, it's relentless every 3 to 4 days. So, there we go. Whatever will be, will be. Like I said, I'm just a bit concerned that there's a bit of lack of rest for the players, and the players just look tired. And City have got a smaller squad than what we normally have, and I'm amazed we let Cancelo leave and not chosen to bring anyone in defensively or in midfield just to help with some numbers. So, yeah, I don't know. What I do know is I'll be back again next week supporting the lads. Aston Villa at home. Be nice to have another live watch along. I've not had an Etihad live watch along in. Have I not had one in 2023? I think I might have been to every game. It might have been one game. What Wolves game actually? No, one game. I lied. So it's my second one against Villa and Jack Grealish playing against his former team. So we might have a transfer video or two out through the week. I think I'm probably going to take it easy, to be honest, for the next week. I've been doing daily videos. I've been doing 1, 2, some cases 3 videos a day across the channels and things. So I think I'm just gonna take it easy for the next week or so, and we'll go from there until we have the build up to next week's game against Aston Villa. So I will see you for all of that for you guys to look forward to. So thank you very much for tuning in. It's a shame we've not hit 100 likes. We're 28 away. Not sure we will. I'm not sure we will hit that, but if we do, then let's hope so. See a bit of arguing going on in the live chat with things. It's disappointing, but I'm not down, not out. This result doesn't surprise me. And as I said, you want to take the positive. The positives are we had a huge favour from Everton yesterday against Arsenal. So we still got everything in our hands. So we need to just apply ourselves and go from there. Man City win the next 2 games. Things are looking very, very much on it. But Spike says there, makes an excellent point. Says City fluffed their opportunity here. With a chance to go 2 points behind, which is disappointing in itself. I'll give more of my thoughts in my match review of where the game was won, where the game was lost, and what City can do differently going forward. But my final point on this live stream: go and have a watch of the highlights of Tottenham Hotspur taking on Arsenal. Arsenal play a system that is so similar to Manchester City. And look at the complete control Arsenal had in that first half. And look how clinical Arsenal were in front of goal. Look how up for the game Arsenal were. And that is the level that City need if they want to beat Tottenham Hotspur at this stadium. Because I mentioned before, City don't know how to win here. They don't know how to score here. If you want the answer, watch that Arsenal game. And Arsenal show you how it's done. And that's the level that Manchester City need to hit. We beat Arsenal last week in the FA Cup, so we know the level that it takes to win these games. We beat Arsenal last season twice as well. We know the level that we're looking for. We just need to apply ourselves, and it could be worse. We could be 8 points behind right now and staring down a barrel, so to speak. We're not. We just need to focus and take things, as I've been saying for the last month, a game at a time. Our 3-game winning streak comes to an end. We've got a match coming up against Aston Villa at home. Go again, win that game, and move on to our next game and take things a game at a time and see where we end up by the time we hit that international break in March, and then have a good assessment, a good sit down and have a look at how we push towards the end of the season. Ideally speaking, Man City need that month where they win every single game, and that will be enough then to get that pressure onto Arsenal, that 2 points behind or so. Disappointing start to February, but we've got games against Villa at home, Arsenal away, Forest away, Bournemouth away, and Newcastle at home coming up in the next 4 weeks or so, and that's City win all them games, we'll be right up where we need to be. Sandwiched in there a game against Leipzig away, Bristol City away in the FA Cup as well. Plenty to plenty to go at. So there we go. FIFA, trust me, if you want stressed, watch the Man United stream. I'm very level-headed right now. Very level-headed. I think in terms of a Man City loss, I feel like actually, I'm sure others will back me up on this. I feel like in terms of a loss, I've taken this pretty well. I normally just end the live stream and go, nope, not doing that. We'll do the video in an hour and boom, we'll go from there. I feel like I've handled this one pretty well, to be honest. Rightio then. BetMate, today's video sponsor. Links and details there in the description. Go and check them out. Much appreciated. Let's see how we've done on the pot. And we'll see how we've done this for this pot. So in terms of the paid pot, don't think I've had the best of. I've not done too bad. 39, just outside the placed positions. Not having Hojbjerg in my team, I think's cost me dear there. Fallen miles behind the person that's ended up winning that, Jones77. Shout out to him. Mike, thanks very much for for the $5 donation. Said here's the Prime donation. Thanks very much, much appreciated. Only problem is it's not that readily available in the UK, so $5. I mean, it will get you a bottle of Prime if you're prepared to wake up at 5 a.m. and wrestle with the kids and the parents to try and get one. But yeah, much appreciated, pal. Legend. Salute to you. Shout out to you. Thank you very much, Mike, for the donation. Much appreciated. I enjoy the sarcasm in that donation as well. Thank you very much, Mixid, as well. Much appreciated. And I'll give my opinions on the City team at a later date. And I finished 32nd in the free pot. I mean, how many people were in that free pot? 448, and I finished 32nd. That's not bad at all. It's just, yeah, I had Hojbjerg in my team for that one. Not really worked out on BetMate, but we'll be back again for the Villa pot next week, and hopefully we'll be able to be quids in, or somebody will be quids in. That'll be much appreciated. Shout out to BetMate. Go and check them out. Video links in the description and also in the live chat. Much like Fantasy Football, it's a real good app to go and check out. So thank you very much to them for sponsoring this video. Don't forget as well, leave a thumbs up. That would be much appreciated. What we're thinking for the post-production here, 80 plus, which is a really good effort. Shame not to hit 100 likes, but that's okay. We'll go for that in the next one. Gives us something to aim for. Subscribe as well if you're new around here. That'd be much appreciated. Now less than 1,800 subs away from my goal by the end of the season, 30,000 subscribers. So any help towards that would be much appreciated. Social media links, they're in the description below, and also on the yellow banner too if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter and Instagram. Email also in the description too, and on the yellow banner too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorship for any videos or any general business inquiry. TikTok link in the description too if you want to go and follow me on there. Thank you very much, Mike. Appreciate your support there. And yeah, Mike is a legend. Mike's a legend. Got to love Mike. Yeah, thank you everybody for tuning in. Thank you to everybody that's interacted with me today. Thank you to everybody that's left the score predictions, left a thumbs up, checked out my video sponsor, BetMate, and everything. Much appreciated. So a big shout out to all you guys. Enjoyable live stream. Shame about the result. But we'll be back again next Sunday for another live watch along for you guys to enjoy. It's City taking on Aston Villa at the Etihad, where hopefully we might be able to get another favour from Brentford, and we will see if Man City can make some gains on Arsenal at the top of the Premier League. But as it is not to be today, and the curse of Tottenham Hotspur Stadium continues. Once again, we lose here. Once again, we don't score here. Lessons to be learned. Plenty of time left in the season. But Man City need to sort it out sooner rather than later. Thank you everybody for watching. Much appreciated. I hope everyone is safe and well. I hope everyone has a fantastic rest of their weekend and a fantastic weekend. Yeah, I'm going to take it easy for a week, and we'll be back again with all the build-up next week to Aston Villa's game and the live watch-along next Sunday. We will live 4 p.m. I'll probably have the link out on Saturday for you to go and set your reminders for. So I'll see you then. So I've been JSGC. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope everyone is safe and well. Peace. Ciao for now.